right, so we're set. The anthems have been sung. The fans have piled in here, and the music is cranked. Let's get ready for some hockey here at Mile One Center tonight. We'll throw it to Chris and Brian with the call on Rogers TV.
3 games. Growlers looking to finish them off here. The final game between these two clubs at Mile One Center. They'll play once more in, I don't know, April sometime. So we're looking forward to this one. Here's tonight's starting lineup for your Newfoundland Growlers, brought to you by Coors Light. In goal tonight is number 35, Angus Redmond, of 14-2 record. That hot. 250 goals against average and a 909 save percentage. On the other end of the ice tonight, it's number 1, Evan Cormier. 3-4, 5-1. What a strange record. 329 goals against and an 890 save percentage. On the blue line tonight for Newfoundland to start the evening is number 38, Miles Gentry. He'll play alongside number 18, Trent Bork. And up front at center ice, number 22, your leading scorer, Brady Ferguson. He'll play with one of the Super Nukes, number 10, Zach O'Brien. And number 29, Giorgio Estefan. Brian, I know we both had our eyes on Gio earlier on today. He looks like he's a man with something to prove here, and we're underway and looking forward to hopefully a big night out of that unit out there. But first they'll have to get the puck back as the Thunder have the first possession, playing it up the left wing boards. Here comes Mike Smatula, cuts across the ice. Bork stays with him and forces him into the right wing corner. John Edward in the left wing corner still has the puck, side door, and that's going to be broken up by Bork. He'll play it ahead now with an outlet pass intended for O'Brien. That's knocked down by Thompson. And the Thunder get it back in. Bork chipped it free, rolling along the inboard. Zach O'Brien plays it ahead for Ferguson. Ferguson ahead for Estefan over the line. Across, great feed. O'Brien in on goal and a big kick save. The first of the game for the netminder Cormier. Second shot, they score! A gift for Brady Ferguson. Not even a minute in. And it's 1-0 Newfoundland.
Well, Chris, as I used to say back in the day, it's loose down there. He jumped on it. And boy, you talk about an early Easter egg. There's one lying right in the crease in front of Evan Cormier, just 49 seconds in, number 22, with goal number 23, and it's 1-0 Dogs.
That is so strange. I think when Cormier made the save, I think the motion on the play, I think he believed himself. He guided that puck out of play.
That's exactly what he thought.
And he surely did not, because that puck was sitting in the crease, ready to be tapped in, and sure enough, that's what happened. We'll wait for the goal calls. The Growlers look for more. Conrad down low to Brazo. Brazo in the left wing corner has a man on him. Absorbs a check there, but Piero Sabatel plays it away. All the way to center ice. Here's a goal call.
Scored by number 22, Brady Ferguson. Assist on the goal to number 18, Trent Bork.
And here's a 2-on-1. Brazo, he's hauled down, and a penalty coming up on the play. Behind the net, Conrad takes all kinds of abuse, but a hooking penalty has been called. We'll clarify those assists. There is at least Trent Bork getting a helper.
I think that's all I heard, Chris, was Trent Bork. Because Borky let the shot go from the point, and you're right, Cormier thought he got a piece of it. I think he thought he deflected it amongst the protective mesh.
Yeah.
It dropped right down. He lost sight, and Brady was Johnny on the spot. That was an easy tap in for the Louisville, Texas native. 1-0 Newfoundland.
Rolling puck swatted back to the line and held by Gendron as this Pepsi power play gets underway here. For your Growlers, Ferguson along the left wing boards, in toward the cage. That's knocked away up top for Giorgio Estefan. He'll put it in. That one pinballs wide of the cage again. Left wing boards, Ferguson up top and across from Gendron to Estefan. Into the slot, O'Brien. The puck rolled up on him and he fired it over the net. Ferguson holds the line and sends it down low to Marcus Power. He'll free it up for Estefan. Chip back to Power in the right wing corner. Whip back up top. Redirected again in front by O'Brien. And a great pad save by Cormier. Great job by the Growlers to hold the line, and O'Brien sends it down low. Back for O'Brien, loose for Estefan. Oh, what a stop by Cormier, and tight as the Growlers are buzzing out the gate here. Already up 1-0. We played 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Centering feed is broken up, and the Thunder will send this one the length of the ice.
Excellent power play to start for the boys. Total domination, great puck control, and getting the biscuit on the basket.
Still 55 seconds to go on the Pepsi power play, brought to you by Browning Harvey. At center, spinning it back was Gendron. Ahead for Brazo on the right wing side. He'll curl a pass toward the front of the net. That's guided away by the goaltender, but kept alive by Trey Bradley. Knocked down. Great steal by Conrad, but a penalty coming up.
That'll do it, Chris. So 37 seconds remaining in the minor penalty to the Adirondack Red Wings. Number 18, Casey Hierro Zavatl. And now here it looks like it's going to be Colt Conrad is going to go to the sin bin here. And that will negate. No, minute 23, but Chris, what an outstanding power play that was.
What a start.
Great start for the guys out shooting Adirondack 6-zip here in the first 2 minutes and 54 seconds of tonight's contest. Face off to the left of Angus B. Fredman, the pride of Langley, BC.
And it was Ferguson's 23rd at the 49-second mark from Trent Bork. That's it.
Trent Bork has been like Miles Gendron, a point-producing rear guard machine on the back end. They play together. They look similar. They're both left-handed shots. They're both skilled kids. Great addition by the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Toronto Marlies to add these two guys to the Growlers for the stretch run as they head into the Kelly Cup playoffs next month.
Giorgio Estefan gets to take this face off to the left of Redmond against Aaron Nazarian. Loose along the end boards, pulled back by Robert Powers, and behind the net with it is James Malindi. Moves ahead quickly and hands it off for Estefan. Look at the wheels on him. Gets in onside, slams on the brakes just inside the line, throws a pass back. Oh, that was almost stolen and skated away by Payne. But instead, Malindi gets to settle. 15 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And the Growlers will be short-handed for a minute and 23 seconds. Weaving his way through neutral ice is Powers. Onside down the left, has a bit of a shooting lane, trying to take it. It's off the stick and wide into the right wing corner. Dylan Van Der Esch, you'll hear from him a little later on in tonight's broadcast. Got it in deep with the Thunder, look to turn it back, now enjoying a power play of their own. Payne swings back at center, finds a little open ice and hands it off for Sissons, well back inside the Adirondack zone. 6-1 the shots, 1:05 left on the Colt Conrad minor. On the first power play of the evening for Adirondack, there's Connor Riley. Down the left wing, the drop pass all the way for Smatula. He'll get it over the line and hand it back for Riley. Smatula played it behind the net, out the other side for Charlie Curty. He'll chip it by his man, ringed off behind the net, and Smatula gathers it up once again. His pass down low behind the net, up top for Sissons, across. 38 seconds to go on this man advantage. Smatula's try, redirected wide by Sal Haney. Skirving, lunged after that one. Malindi frees it up, but right in front of Angus Redmond, the Growlers can't get it out. Held by Smatula, he'll swing back, leaving the puck for Sissons. Cross on the right wing, shot redirected again, wide of the cage by Adirondack. Only 15 seconds to go. Smatula looks up top, and that one ends up off his stick and into the mesh. 12 seconds left on the Colt Conrad minor. Darn good penalty kill in there by the Growlers.
Yeah, and it's been real good, as you mentioned, Chris, in the pregame show on Mixler.com/NL Growlers, only yielding that one power play goal to the opposition in the last couple of weeks. So that's a great stat. They want to keep that and play off that and feed off it and maintain that status quo as they tighten things up down the stretch.
Matt Bradley wins the draw. Evan Newgold gives it the business, but can't get it out. Here's Nazarian. His low shot stopped by Redmond, the first real test he's had all night. And Trey Bradley tumbles it the rest of the way. Here's Colt Conrad out of the box. The Growlers are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Jake Linhart, defenseman for Adirondack, pauses a moment behind his own net, and Matt Bradley's not giving him any ice, trying to force him into a play. He'll send it to center. Panico gobbles it back up, waits for everyone to tag up. Had to get rid of it, and Sadeo takes it back. Up to center, and poked ahead for Piero Zabitel. Chipped in, Nazarian had it, stolen away by Matt Bradley, and he'll put it right back to center, and stealing it is Trey Bradley, trying to get it, bit of a rolling puck. Van Der Esch helps him keep it. Van Der Esch, and a great shoulder save. It caught, I think, in the crook of the elbow of Evan Cormier, the 7th shot of the game already here for Newfoundland. 7-2 the shots, and it's 1-0 Growlers thanks to Brady Ferguson's 23rd of the year, just 49 seconds in.
Well, I really like the Growlers start here tonight. 5:33 in. They've got a goal. They've had a PK. It looked real solid. And they're moving their feet. Good things are going to happen.
Brazo gets it behind the net, tries to wrap it around, and Cormier kept the blocker down and managed to cover that one up.
That's the crowd here tonight, too, Chris.
I was going to say the same thing. You got to give this crowd a ton of credit because Newfoundlanders, as much as we love you, you're shy to do anything if there's any whisper of snow in the forecast. But look at the crowd here tonight. None of these people afraid to get out and get their boots wet. So God love you all. And to those of you watching in on Rogers and Eastlink, hey, we're happy to have you here too. There's a one-timer. Oh! And now they're going to blow the play dead immediately as James Henry took that one, I think, in the side of the helmet. He will immediately be shown off by the linesman here. He's on his feet. There's no blood, but that's always scary when you see a big slapper come and graze a play, not graze it, full on hit him on the side of the head.
Yeah, that couldn't have felt very good, but hopefully Mr. Henry is going to be fine for precautionary measures. They'll take a look at him. And Trent Bork, being a good sport, the Polly's Pro goes over, gives him a tap, almost to say, I'm sorry.
Face off for Colt Conrad as play resumes. Caught up in his skates, tried to get it back to the line. The Thunder look to steal. At center, sending it in is Mike Smith. Sorry, that was John Edwards, played away by Redmond. Bounced off his skates and found Justin Brazo. He'll lead the rush, a 4-on-3 rush. As Gendron carries in over the line, Brazo tried to poke it toward the front of the cage. That got blocked. Thompson plays it back behind his own goal. Look at Colt Conrad in there. Frees it up. Power trying to center. His pass was off the mark. Gendron jumps in off the line. Treated up Brazo. Trying to send it back down low. Great block there by Conrad. He'll get it back in neutral ice. 7-2 the shots for Newfoundland. 1-0 the score for Newfoundland. With 13:35 to go in the first, the Growlers will clear the zone. Cormier hands off for Sissons up along the left wing boards. The stretch pass too far for Nazarian as Robert Powers beats him back to the puck, and Melindy looks to have it pinned against the end boards. Piero Zabatel able to pull it away, and Sissons holds the line. He'll send it wide of the cage. A nice redirection attempt there by Kane. Misses the net. Right wing corner, the Thunder work it up top to the top of the left wing circle. It's Sissons. That's pulled out of the air by Angus Redmond. No rebound with 13:07 to play in the first.
Well, Beach gunning for his 15th victory, 14-2. Great numbers for Angus Redmond in the Newfoundland goal. Just to footnote, the Toronto Marlies last night with a big 5-2 win over Syracuse as they battle for that fourth and final playoff spot in the AHL's Northern Divisions. Parker.
All right, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brian. It's Bill Hart, Steve Callahan here. And, well, the keys to the game tonight, already a little redundant because, well, one of the keys to the game has already taken place.
Yeah, and you know, we wanted to make sure that Newfoundland, their key to the game tonight was let's get going, let's keep that foot on the gas pedal, let's make sure that they're rear giving up. They've already clinched that playoff spot, so they want to keep going, and we've seen that right away tonight. The forced pressure on the forecheck. They got that done tonight, and they scored the first goal.
That's right, they did. And they also have to capitalize on that power play, too, because despite the fact that they're out of a playoff spot, Adirondack's still one of the best penalty kills in the league. Actually tied for first in the league.
Absolutely. Their special team is really hot. And, you know, and we wanted to make sure that their key to tonight's game was getting the first goal. Obviously, it didn't work that way.
No.
But now, like you said, too, they've got to stay mentally strong. They've got to make sure that they stay focused. For them, it's about getting their first win here in a long time. And their first win against Newfoundland in a long time. We've got some great energy here tonight.
All right, back to Chris and Brian on Rogers TV.
Face off to the right of Angus Redmond. Faced only 3 shots. Almost 4 there, but that one's blocked away by the Adirondack forward. Carrier loose along the boards and swept behind the net. Melindy gets control, outweights his man, and the Growlers poke it to the line, not out. There's a shot, stopped by Redmond. The rebound played ahead, and Ferguson sends it up the right wing. Estefan looking to catch the loose puck. He will beat out the icing. He's tied up, sends a pass up top, but Melindy had jumped in off the line. And the puck rolls inside the Growlers zone. Picked up by Powers. He's on his horse to keep away from Riley. Great drop pass to Melindy. Melindy outweights a couple of Adirondack forecheckers. And the pass finds O'Brien just outside the blue line. He'll send it right back in. Estefan gives chase as the rest of his line heads off for a change. Here come the Thunder lumbering free as Sadeo. His pass is going to be tapped away. Connor Riley wrestles it back into neutral ice where Growlers forecheckers remain relentless and help force a partial turnover there, but Smatula takes it back in. His pass behind his man, and now Newgold plays it to center ice. 8 minutes gone here in the first period as Tommy Panico's being chased all the way back in his own zone, freeing it up for Matt Bradley. Snapped across, someone's got to skate to play it, and Evan Newgold pokes it back and gets it back just inside his own blue line.
Here we go.
Matt Bradley, a pass ahead. Trey Bradley tried to flip it back, but now a turnover, and Nazarian carries it in. Nazarian, his low shot got through Redmond and somehow ends out the other side, not hitting the net. Newgold back to center. Hits the line and rifles it into the right wing corner, rolls out the other side, and Van Der Esch paddles it back behind the cage. Right wing board, Van Der Esch poked it down low, Matt Bradley. Rolling puck, he'll try and settle it, trying to pass it in front. Pass finds its way back to him, he'll turn and fire. That one wide of Cormier. Played down low, and Trey Bradley under all kinds of pressure, trying to sneak away with it. That got away, Van Der Esch held the line for a moment. Now this could be a 2-on-1 back the other way. Piero Zabatel has two Growlers converge on him, and Trey Bradley ends up with the steal. Sends it across for Conrad, weaves through his own zone. Conrad poked off the end of his stick. He'll have to skate across the ice, pick it up, back up, and dart back into his own zone again. 7-5 now the shots after a couple of good shifts for the Thunder. Out at center, knifed it by Bork, not very deep, played right back to center, right into his open glove, and he'll swing it back to Melindy. Hard forecheck here tonight for Adirondack as Melindy takes a hard feed back inside his own zone from Conrad. He'll flip it ahead, and Connor Riley can't control the bouncing puck. The Growlers swooping back in again inside their own zone to get it. They got to get out of their own end here.
It's been a while since they've got on the offense, Chris.
Power trying to chip it to the line. That's held by Walker off his stick.
Subi
stays inside. Power able to glove it down at the line, and again held in by Adirondack as it bounces into the right wing side. Melindy tries to stay with his man. James Henry back out there for Adirondack. Always good to see when a player returns. Pad save there made by Redmond from a point shot. Sissons knocked out of midair by Brazo. He's bumped by Connor Riley as the Growlers clear the zone. Sissons comes down with the rebound after that high arcing shot, and his shot, a weak one, into the chest of Redmond. No harm done with 9:35 left in the first.
Well, good push by the visitors from Glens Falls, New York, the ECHL affiliate of the NHL's New Jersey Devils and the AHL's Binghamton Devils in central New York State. 1-0 Newfoundland. Brady Ferguson getting an early Easter gift. In the month of March is a puck laid like a kid finding an egg on Easter Sunday morning. It was a wide open net. Fergie made no mistake for his 23rd, and that's all the scoring so far.
And it's Brady Ferguson getting control of this puck, playing it up for Zach O'Brien. And Estefan was pushed in ahead of the play offside.
Well, coming up in our first intermission on Rogers and Eastlink Television on this Saturday evening, the 7th of March in the year 2020. Bill Hart, Steve Callahan will break down the first period of play as usual. And we'll hear from Growlers head coach John Snowden in conversation with yours truly. What's happening on Mixler?
Well, it's also head coach John Snowden.
Shocker.
As we have every first
intermission. Yeah, I think we're pretty status quo there, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I just feel like the coach should be the one to set the tone.
Yep, well, that's it.
Sadeo gets it in his own zone just inside the blue line. Gives it for Linhart. He's forced to swing back by Estefan. Linhart, his pass booted in by Smatula. Redmond played behind the net, and Panico moves it ahead quickly. Spins away from the forechecking Smatula. Now Newgold looks to play it up. Nice pass for Zach O'Brien up on the left wing side. Finds Estefan with Sadeo all over him. Rolling puck there. A little trouble for Estefan, but it's stolen back by O'Brien to the right point for Newgold. Swept across again now. Gendron through traffic. And it's into the chest and held by Cormier.
Well, if they get credit for that shot, and there it is up on the board, it's a good one for Miles Jenner. That's the first shot on goal on Evan Cormier, Chris, in at least the last 5 minutes of play. At one point, after Fergie scored 49 seconds in from Trent Fork-even strength for the 1-0 lead, it was all Growlers. Shot clock actually read 6-0 at one point. Now it's 8-6. They're making a game of her.
Right in on Cormier. He'll guide it aside for Thompson. Tries to get it out. Nazarian will, but this one's going to roll the length of the ice for an icing. 8:32 remaining here in the first period. 1-0 Newfoundland. Actually, they have added an assist to that opening goal. Zach O'Brien trying the secondary helper.
I got a feeling Obi's going to score one night. We haven't seen him. I haven't seen him score for a while. He scored on the road, obviously, but personally, I haven't seen 10 Dent decline. I got a feeling he's going to do it tonight, maybe more than once. Who knows?
Adirondack wins the draw. They'll hammer it again the length of the ice, and another icing here.
I know that sounds a little presumptuous and a little greedy, but that's how I roll. This is Noya. I love Newfoundland Labrador Oil and Gas Night here. Plus the good crowd here. Lots of Noya members, of course, and we have plenty of those here in the middle of the North Atlantic where oil is au naturel, Canada's oil and natural gas leader. Newfoundland Labrador, you got it.
Big hit in the corner. The Growlers fight to get it back. Trey Bradley, good active stick, but he can't come away with it. As the pass behind Payne at center, he's given a hard shoulder check. Oh, and he almost sent Trey Bradley away. Bradley will steal the puck back. Gets in over the line, trying to chip it behind Curdy. It's back at center where Todd Skirving settles it back. In his own zone now is Miles Gendron off the boards and ahead. Rolling puck, gobbled up by the Adirondack. Defense and play to center where Bork was ready for it. He'll get it back for Gendron. He'll go for a skate in the high slot of his own zone. Passed up, hopped over the stick of Skirving, and that's going to be an icing this time against Newfoundland with 7:45 to go in the first.
Well, I like that option, and it just missed. That would have been a tidy little entry into the zone for the Newfoundland Growlers, clinging to the 1-0 lead here in the third and final game of this three-game set, where they have been absolutely perfect against the Adirondack Thunder, much to their chagrin. After tonight's contest, the team will head out to Brampton, Kalamazoo, and Brampton. We're coming home for 6 more in the month of March.
Looking forward to that homestand. I think
starting on St. Patty's Day by Tuesday the 17th. That's going to be a hoot.
Cleared away by the Growlers out of their own zone. Sissons. No icing. He was back in time. 7:25 to go as the pass comes out to center, and that gets by everybody for another icing against Adirondack. I find the more time I spend on the road, the more chores that seem to be left behind for me when I return. Apparently, the way it works in the Ballard household is the more snowstorms that come, like the more vacuuming that seems to need to be done. I'm not sure how that's a one-to-one relationship.
Well, that's because you're doing the vacuuming and Ashley's out doing the shoveling.
Yeah.
That's got to change, and it's the same in our household. Believe me, Joni does the brunt of it, and she shouldn't be.
Top circle, Melindy redirected in, and a save made by Cormier. Conrad getting his stick on a James Melindy shot in front. I mean, I say that in jest, of course.
I know.
I feel dreadful every time that there's a centimeter of snow falls on the road and I'm not the one to clean off the car and dig it out, just to put that out into the universe.
Yeah. Well, you know what the funny thing, too, is neighbors have to look after neighbors, too, young and old alike, and we get a fair amount of that. That's one good thing about people here. They're good-natured, and they'll help when help is needed.
Absolutely. I got a couple of dandies. Conrad along the right wing boards. He's a dandy, no doubt. His pass along the right wing goal mount. Back up top to Melindy now as the Growlers look to get set. 9-6 are their shots, but pushed out over the line there. And now we have a one-on-one. Connor Riley back with James Melindy. Melindy. Nice positioning there, and that's going to be swatted away by the goal stick of Redmond. Still loose inside the Growlers zone. A couple of bodies taking each other down. Puck still loose in the high slot, and Marcus Power pulls it away. Plays it up for Conrad, hitting center and chipping it in for himself, getting in behind Linhart. Great play by Conrad. Man, this kid takes a ton of abuse.
I think he welcomes it sometimes, Chris. He likes to go to the hard areas. He doesn't mind getting bounced around.
And here's a 2-on-1. Walker across. They score just inside the post. Linhart ties it up with 6:23 left in the first.
Oh, boy, Jake Linhart made no mistake on that, Chris. That was a lovely cross-ice feed, and he whistled that one, and Beef was handcuffed to shore. 13:37. And a very game Adirondack Thunder team's not going away. They may be buried in fifth in a $16 division. They're tired of losing to this Newfoundland Growler team, which they've done 9 times in 9 games this season. They even it up here in the goal by Jake Linhart at 13:37 even strength, and we're locked in a 1-1 tie.
The Growlers win the draw back to their own blue line. Tommy Panico chipped it up, and O'Brien sends it the rest of the way. 6:15 to go. John Edward pulls it off the end boards, flipped it into the air. Picking this one up is Sal Haney to avoid the icing. He's quickly pinned to the end boards by Tommy Panico, pushed away by Ferguson. And Estefan in the corner of his own zone plays it up again for Brady Ferguson. Back to the blue line and ahead for Estefan. What a feed, he'll cut in. Swings back toward the blue line, tries a shot, that's going to be knocked down by O'Brien. Second effort, and it's picked back up by Ferguson. What a pass in front! Alone was Estefan trying to deke out the defender. He'll shoot it this time, and it's scooped up by Cormier with 5:37 to go in the first.
So, Chris, the official on the equalizer for the Adirondack Thunder, it's Jake Linhart's fifth from Ryan Walker. Even strength at 13:37. 1-1 with 5:37 to go to the first intermission.
And we'll step.
All right, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brian. Bill and Steve here with you. We're even at one after, well, still lots of hockey left to play in this first period. But Adirondack showing that mental toughness that we told them that they had to show.
I love the way Adirondack's been playing after they responded. We said that they had to be mentally strong. We said that they had to come back with some passion. They've done that. They've been finishing their hits. They've been strong on the forecheck. I really like their D-zone coverage. They've been making sure that Newfoundland's been on the outside, and they've been pressuring the puck, and we saw that. They covered well, and on the rush, they were able to get the turnover, able to capitalize on the 2-on-1. Really nice play, really nice shot. But that was good because they showed the energy, they showed the character that they have, and that's what you want to see from this team.
All right, it's a big game for both teams as playoff races, they start to tighten up. We throw it back now to Chris and Brian on Rogers TV.
A little bit after that great start where they were just beating down the net, of course. They had the go-ahead goal early in, less than a minute in, 49 seconds to be exact. Brady Ferguson's 23rd from Trent Bork and Zach O'Brien for the 1-0 lead, and Chris Oates shooting them 6-0, but Adirondack have come back and even things up, and they have been a little quicker, to say the least, in the last 4 or 5 minutes for sure.
And the Thunder win the draw. Looking out of his own zone, there is Nazarian. He's crunched by Ferguson, and O'Brien takes over. Cuts in wide on the right-hand side. Wrap around. He scores! What a finish for Zach O'Brien. 2-1 Growlers with 5:25 to go. Snuck in behind Cormier, tucked it in back door.
Well, he was a man on a mission right there, Chris. I mentioned earlier here tonight that I was waiting to see Obi score one at home. There's one. There might be more in his artillery here tonight. He's due for a breakout game in my estimation. You've seen him on the road. He's been playing lights out, of course, but Obi just starting to heat up, and he gets a fist bump there from head coach Johnny Snowden, rightfully so. That was a beauty, to say the least.
2-1 Newfoundland. Zach O'Brien's second point of the period, points 40-41. As now the Growlers have to get back and play some defense inside their own zone. Matt Bradley pulls it away and leaves it for Bork. Ahead for Trey Bradley. Here's the goal call.
Zach O'Brien. Assist on the goal to number 29, Giorgio Estefan. And number 22, Brady Ferguson. Time of the goal, 14:35.
So the big line connects. O'Brien from Ferguson and Estefan. Makes it 2-1 here in the late stages of the first. 4:45 to go in the first, if I'm being exact. The Thunder steal it away inside the Newfoundland zone. Jekyll at drive, that's blockered away by Redmond. Lands right on the tape of Trey Bradley. Plays it ahead too far for Van Der Esch, but it will roll into the right wing corner where Van Der Esch is all over Jekyll. Trey Bradley down there. Trying to punch above his weight class too, taking on a couple of bodies much larger than he, but the Growlers managed to steal the puck. And Melindy sends it in. Speaking of big fellas, there's Justin Brazo. Trying to free it up, and he will. Marcus Power, a drive along the ice, is stopped by Cormier. Growlers back to buzzing here. Powers, and he scores! Redirected in front, and it's 3-1 Newfoundland. It was Robert Powers getting the shot off. A 2-goal lead, and Marcus Power may have gotten his stick in on that one.
Well, we'll wait for the official. A bit of a broken play here, but hey, you'll take him any which way you can. And at 15:53, the Newfoundland Growlers have a 3-1 lead. Powers getting the shot off through, and yeah, looked like a redirect there, at least on the Davey Simmons replay of Rogers and Eastlink. Well, let's have a look. I probably shouldn't say a broken play, but just maybe something that didn't look like it was going to be much and turned out to be awesome.
A seemingly harmless play.
That's
a nice wrister from the blue line from Robert Powers. Ends up, we think, at least off the stick. And, ooh, a big collision behind the net there. We got a couple of players all tied up.
And Connie
Shocker.
involved again, Chris.
And here's John Edward back the other way. He'll put it out in front, and a good stick lift there by Brazo prevents the shot on goal. Laid back down low, Melindy there. Sends it across, back to Robert Powers. Here's the goal call. Power from Powers. Nope. Okay, so it's power from Powers. We know
Exactly. It's Marcus's 24th, Chris.
That's a big season here for Marcus Power. Evan Newgold out muscles a couple of Adirondack defenders, and it's chipped free, and now Estefans in a one-on-one. Cuts to the middle, had it knocked away, tried to steal it back, but here come the Thunder. 3:05 to play in the period. That pass too far in front of Carrier. Pulling it off the end boards is Panico, placing a great feed up for O'Brien. Knocked down by Estefan, right back to the middle for Ferguson. He'll enter the zone with Newgold with him. Ferguson cuts into the right wing corner. Back out in front of rebound. And O'Brien tucked it just over the bar. What a period for that top line. Good block there by O'Brien to keep the Thunder pinned inside their own zone. 14-8 now are the shots in favor of Newfoundland. They come in waves, folks. That's the Newfoundland way. In the right wing corner inside the Newfoundland zone, Matt Bradley has his man pinned. What a move by Gendron to strip his man of the puck. And away comes Gendron to center, blows by half the Thunder team, and hands off to Trey Bradley. Redirected, oh, what a left pad save that was by Cormier, robbing Skirving of a goal. And now Walker and Henry, a little give and go in over the line. James Henry, his shot, a good looking shot, blockered away from the top corner by Redmond.
Nice save.
Growlers, that pass eluded Trey Bradley at center, so with a minute and 58 seconds to go in the opener, we'll have an icing, and the Growlers will take the draw inside their own end.
Well, the defending Kelly Cup champions are cooking on all cylinders here tonight after taking the early lead on the Brady Ferguson tally. 49 seconds in, they saw Jake Linhart score a beauty, his fifth at 13:37 to tie it. Zach O'Brien with his 21st, even strength. From Giorgio Estefan and Brady Ferguson at 14:35. Marcus Powers 24th from Robert Powers at 15:53. Even strength, 3-1 Dogs.
Pulled away by Newfoundland out of the corner of their own zone, and they'll start it ahead. Look at that great feed to Trey Bradley with speed down the left wing, swings away. Here's a one-timer and a great left pad kick save by Cormier. The rebound almost hopped out beautifully as well, but it's cleared away by Adirondack. Melindy in the corner of his own zone. Great job boxing out his man and handing that puck there for Bourne. He'll leave it back. Kicked free for Conrad now at center. A great pass. Finds Newgold, or Power rather. He'll chip it in. Right wing corner. Conrad bumps his man. Puck rolls behind the net. Brazo gives chase. As it emerges in the left wing corner, here's Conrad in the left wing side. Pulls it out. What a look! They score! Justin Brazo! 4 goals in the first period. It's 4-1 Newfoundland.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. That was just simply gorgeous. What a shot by Justin Brazo, and what a no-look feed by Marcus Power. That was absolutely beautiful. At 18:52, what an onslaught here. The Adirondack Thunder don't know what's hit them here. The Newfoundland Growlers exploded.
17 shots and 4 goals, and we still have exactly 1 minute to go here in the first period. We'll get you the assists on Justin Brazo's 27th of the season momentarily, but here come the Adirondack Thunder. Nazarian, left wing boards, rolls it behind the net. Here's the goal call.
Scored by number 17, Justin Brazo. Assist on the goal to number 9, Marcus Power. And number 39, Colt Conrad. Time of the goal, 18:52.
Power and Conrad pick up the helpers on Brazo's 27th at 18:52. So make it a multi-point period for Marcus Power.
And Conrad picking up another helper, too. That's his 31st of his rookie campaign. He's having quite a season, too, Chris.
Pulled away by Newfoundland, and now Estefan with 40 seconds left hits center and bounces one to the left of the goaltender. Linhart picks it up with O'Brien, staying on him. O'Brien steal. Left wing corner to Brady Ferguson. He'll stiff arm his man away, but Walker picks his pocket Those two were pinned in front of the bench. And it comes out to center where Newgold puts it in on goal. A giant rebound from outside the blue line is taken in, and a big collision there as Brady Ferguson throws his weight. Redirected again in on goal. That's fought off. Back to the line, Newgold. One more try, and another save there by Cormier. 4 seconds to go. The Thunder clear the zone. What a period here for Newfoundland. 4-1 Growlers after 20 minutes of play. Shots were 18-10. In favor of the good guys, and that's a pretty flawless opening period of hockey, especially, Brian, if you consider this is 3 games against the one team, every game growing more and more intense as the situation evolves here. This is a heck of a period of hockey.
Well, it was an outstanding effort. They just kept it going, and I like the penalty kill. Of course, they had the 1-0 lead on the early goal by Brady Ferguson. It got evened up by Jake Linhart, and after that, it was all Newfoundland. And man, oh man, I don't think it's going to end here, Chris. I had a feeling Adirondack would be much more aggressive and tighter, and maybe their will has been broken here. I mean, they're a scrappy team. They're going to battle back here, you would think. But I got a feeling that the Growlers, I mean, they set a franchise record in Jacksonville, Florida last Sunday. If they keep playing like this here tonight, they may override that 9-goal franchise record. Not to, sound like a braggart or anything like that, but the way they're scooting out there tonight, anything's possible. So let's see, but that's so tidy. Boy, I'll tell you, if I'm a coach of that hockey club and the coaching staff, they have to be smiling like Cheshire cats down there, because that was real pretty, to say the least.
3 goals in just over 4 minutes for Newfoundland in the last 6 minutes of the period, and they'll take to the intermission. Up 4-1. Speaking of intermission.
Yeah, let's send it down to Bill Hart and Steve Callahan of Rogers and Eastlink for their first period summary, and then we'll hear and see.
And welcome to the first intermission, and you know the game is going good for the Growlers when Brian Rogers talks a lot. When things aren't going good for the Growlers, Brian's pretty quiet, and that's a rarity in these parts.
We knew there was going to be a storm tonight, but I don't think we thought it was going to be quite the storm that we've seen here tonight within the walls of Mile One Center. But 4-1 Newfoundland after the first period, just incredible so far.
Yeah, and the goals were scored by the Growlers that you'd expect to get the production from. So let's go straight to the highlights, and we'll start with the goal that opened up the game tonight.
Yeah, and again, this is just one of those tough little breaks, but when you start on time, good things are going to happen, and we see that right away with Newfoundland. Get the shot from the point. Again, we get that little bounce, and it just trickles right where it needed to be, right in the net, and sparks that red light, gets things going right there. Goal number 1.
Yeah, won't get much easier for Brady Ferguson than that one.
No.
For a guy with a lot of skill. Yep. Now, we mentioned earlier about the mental toughness for Adirondack in this game, and they did manage to rebound and tie the game up.
I really love this goal, and I know despite the fact that it's 4-1 Newfoundland, this is a real good goal for especially young kids to watch when they're taking in the games, things like that, because it's just incredible skill. Let's see it rolling. Again, they get that turnover, and it's a 2-on-1, but most 2-on-1s, are not executed properly, and this is just a great one here because with the 2-on-1, he makes his decision just inside the blue line. Within that 10-15 feet, he makes that real nice pass, puts it in a good shooting lane, and just a zinger right home. It's a real tough goal for that goaltender to stop, but it's the decision right inside the blue line instead of waiting and getting himself caught in the corners or maybe not getting that real good shot. Makes that real good pass, makes it 2-1, or makes it 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Great play on the 2-on-1.
We were beginning to think that maybe it was going to stay there, tied at 1, but then, of course, it was Marcus Power.
Absolutely. And again, right here, we see it. It's real good execution on the face-off and getting in real tight. I think that's Zach O'Brien banging home that goal right there. His number 10, Zach, and again, gets a real good position here. Watch the speed. Good quick feed on the outside, then he breaks in loose. He finds that hole with that wraparound. That's incredible skill. And again, we've talked about how many times Zach just seems to be just that step ahead of everybody, especially on the offensive play there. And that's 2-1 Newfoundland.
That's right. And that was Zach O'Brien, of course. And this is where Marcus Power gives it the Newfoundland Growlers the lead 3-1.
Second half of the Super Newfs, and we love to see that. And again, Marcus, he's just been having an incredible year here. Again, we see that top shot again. The shots from the outside have been real difficult for Adirondack to stop tonight. They're getting traffic. The guys are getting into shooting lanes. But again, they get the sticks on the puck, get a nice little tip there, and great point shots. They get some good action, get that opportunity to bang home the goal. 3-1.
And my boy, Justin Brazeau, all 6'6" of him. He's a big, lanky dude, and he managed to get himself his 27th of the year here.
I felt like a cartoon character tonight when I was down at ice level during the warm-up, stood up next to him on the bench. Just a big boy, and he just hammers this one home right here. I love that drop to the knee, shorten up the stick, getting all the power behind it like he did. I mean, that's some serious shooting right there. We see that. Yeah, I love this right here. Boom, drops the knee, bangs it home. It's incredible. He's been having a tremendous year, Bill. Just a great year.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the scoring touch that they wanted when the Toronto Maple Leaf organization brought him into the fold. As a junior, he scored goals by the dozens. And he was a force to be reckoned with then, and he's starting to do it right now. All right, we're going to take a little break here. We have the Growlers up 4-1, and we'll be back momentarily as the first intermission continues on Rogers TV.
Hey!
The lift wasn't working and he was in pain, so I tried to lift him on my own. Yes, it's bad. I'll need help.
Can I help you with that?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
Hi, I'm Peter Halley.
And I'm Kathy Hicks.
And we are here in the very beautiful Masonic Theater, which is home to us at Spirit of Newfoundland Productions.
It's a theater in need of protection, so we have established a restoration fund.
Spirit of Newfoundland is a proud sponsor of Rogers TV.
If you want convenience, Marie's Mini Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
Marijuana is the most common drug found among teen driving fatalities in Canada.
Hey, gotta go. I love you. Bye. Bye, sweetheart.
The feeling in my fingertips.
Emily? Yeah, Mom?
These words are ready to leave my lips.
It's hard to talk about the dangers of driving high. We can help at thecallthatcomesafter.com.
And welcome back to the first intermission. Bill Hart, Steve Callahan with you. And yes, we're dealing with some snow in the Avalon, but very impressed with the amount of fans that are here tonight in Mile 1 making the trek to see their Growlers up 4-1. And if you haven't already heard, they did clinch a playoff spot last night. So now another playoff run for the city is looming.
This team has depth. It has offensive abilities. But let's not take it away that this is a really good defensive team, very well coached, just a tremendous organization. We've got a really good opportunity here to make an incredible run here. I love the energy in the building tonight. Technically sold out. We know the seats are empty, and we know that the weather's a factor. But I like the energy here tonight. I like the, it's been vocal. It's been good to see. Obviously, when you're scoring 4 goals, you're going to have that as well. That's going to be part of it. But yes, for sure, the energy's here. I hope they keep riding it.
That's right. Well, listen, it's a big game so far. We're going to throw it now to Brian Rogers, who spoke with Newfoundland Growlers head coach John Snowden about the grind of March games and all the travel on the road to the playoffs.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks, Steve. With head coach John Snowden of the Newfoundland Growlers. And John, the dog days of March are well into it. Here is probably the longest winter of our lives with all the snow we've had and all the travel your hockey club has endured. You got to feel good about your positioning here, heading down the stretch, clinching a playoff spot in the Kelly Cup playoffs, and maybe a chance to hopefully repeat when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is the dog days of the season. These are the parts of the year that we've been warning a lot of guys here. Last I'd say month is that, we got a young team. We got a lot of guys that haven't played pro hockey, haven't really had the travel that we're going to have, the amount of days on the road and the games back to back and 4s and 5s and 6s and 7s and 7 or whatever it is. So we're finding our way through it. We told them that this is when it's going to get hard. This is when it's going to get hard. Teams are fighting for playoff spots. Every game is a playoff game. The ice is going to get smaller. Players are more magnified. It's going to be harder to earn ice. You're going to have to earn it a lot more. You're going to have to make them earn it as well. So there's no time off. You got to play. I think we've had our ups and downs here as of late. I think it's been really challenging for us, but we're navigating our way through it right now.
John, a little adversity will hurt nobody in any walk of life from time to time, giving people to dig down for that intestine
intestinal fortitude and to dig out what may be a little bit of troublesome period. But you guys have weathered the storms, pardon that cheesy pun, and have been able to, maintain your structure and get everybody to buy in. It's been very seamless, to be quite honest.
Yeah, for the most part, I think we've done a good job with things. I think we've had some adversity here, I'd say the last month with, before that we were pretty good. We were winning, we were playing really good hockey. We were consistent with our lineup for the most part, and we've had some changes here as of late with just injuries all the way throughout the system. So that's just part of the process. So, I think, like you said, the adversity part is a good thing. I think if you go through a whole season unscathed and you don't really get touched and you get all the way to the end of the season and all of a sudden round one starts and you're down 2-0, you don't know how to handle it. So it's, obviously the standards and the way we want to play and the expectations that we have, we want to win every day. But I think this is a good opportunity for our young group to learn and to understand what it takes to find a way to bounce back from situations that weren't on the positive side of things and continue to build your game and stick with the process.
Yeah. John, I know you had to do some tinkering. You've split up probably your number one line that you've had. Brady Ferguson, Zach O'Brien, and Marcus Power have played for the most part almost 2 seasons together, but to be able to flip the switch there and maybe get Marcus on with a couple of the other fellas and spread things out, I think it's paid off nicely because it seems to, and I'm not going to say rejuvenate, but given maybe a guy like Marcus Power a chance to step in on another line and be the go-to guy with some of his younger line mates.
Yeah, no, I think, the one thing that we really had to take a look at here as of late is just trying to find a way to make sure that we got 3 lines of good depth. We're not loaded with 1, loaded with 2, and then, more of a checking line. I don't see that as a style of team we're going to be. I want to have 3 balanced lines that can attack you in all situations of the game. And, as for the Obi Power and Fergie line, I thought, as time goes on during seasons, there's points where lines get a little stale, that things aren't going for them, they're not scoring, so sometimes you put them in with someone different and you can spark. We did that in Jacksonville and we were able to find a way to get 9 goals, and it doesn't mean it's going to be permanent. I'm a pretty firm believer on consistency and playing with the same guys and understanding your line mates and knowing how to play with them. I think it's really important, but I thought at that point of where we were at, when we were struggling to score, went through Florida, got shut out, got 1 goal against or 1 goal for, and when we were in Orlando, so we weren't finding a way to score, so we had to make a change, and obviously it worked out. I think they've done a good job.
Was there any special message after just denting the twine once in those back-to-back defeats before you exploded for a franchise record 9?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is, we are a skilled team. We do have the puck quite a bit in the offensive zone, but the thing that we tend to do is we look to hold on to it and make the next play, or hold on to it and make the perfect play on the backside of something to look for a tap in, rather than, at this time of the year, especially where it's so hard to get inside, it's so hard to get into prime scoring areas. When you get there, you can't look to pass it off to the next play. You got to look to deliver. You got to look to put it on the net. You got to score some grindy, some working man goals. It doesn't always have to be a highlight reel goal. And I think that was kind of the message, is that we're just not delivering. We're looking for the perfect play rather than the more simple play. Just get it to the net, look to do it again, and continue to sustain offensive zone time, because we're willing to put pucks into the inside, put them on the net, get second chances and third chances, and you got to earn them. You can't. They're not just going to give them to you. This time of year, you're going to have to earn everything. So, that was kind of the message. And I think against Jacksonville, we did a good job of that. We got inside every time we had an opportunity in a grade A area. We delivered and we got rewarded.
Absolutely. With head coach John Snowden of your Newfoundland Growlers on this Saturday evening, the final game of this 3-game set against a very game Adirondack Thunder team. Johnny, they're fighting for their playoff lives. Obviously, they gave you everything you could handle in game 1 on Wednesday, and they were a tough foe again last night. You expect nothing different than that this evening?
No, not at all. I mean, they're a team that plays fast. They have good structure. I think they're well coached. I think they have 3 balanced lines. They have good decor. Their guys can get up in the rush. And they work. They're a team that works. They don't take any time off. There's no quit in their game. They're going to finish every single game, and we know that. That's our division as a whole. I mean, every team, you're going to get your best every single night. I think we got a team all the way up and down the division that can beat any team at any given night. You got to make sure that you're ready to play 60 minutes. You got to be on top of your game. Your details have to be good, and there's going to be nothing different than playing these guys.
How about the addition of Miles Gendron and young Trent Bork on the back end as a result of trades between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators? Obviously, the players have been in Belleville and the Marlies as well. Have you liked the addition of those 2 guys? I thought they looked outstanding on Wednesday night in particular. The first time I'd had had a personal look at them.
Yeah, no, I think they're good pieces to the puzzle for sure. The one thing that I think they both do very well is they skate real well. I think they have a good ability of getting the puck quick in our defensive zone and distributing it quick and getting us out. I think they both defend very well. So I think it was a welcome addition. Two guys that can get you out quick and break you out fast and defend the rush good and do all the little things offensively. I think Gendron does a really good job at joining the play and finding holes in the offensive zone. Bork's finding his way through that as well. I think anytime you get guys like that, it's a real positive.
And I guess it doesn't hurt to have a skilled player like Giorgio Estefan, such a clutch performer. We all saw that firsthand in the Kelly Cup final last year, although entire season in the playoffs, but in particular against Toledo. But having Gio back after a well-deserved recall to the Marlies, he's back, he's smiling, and he's a dynamite player.
Oh, yeah. The big thing about Gio is he comes to compete every single day. He's a worker. A worker that has a skill game. Like, he can play, he can make plays, he can beat you one-on-one, but he's willing to embrace the grind. He's willing to finish hits. He's willing to get inside and pay the price. I think he's a real good spark. He's a spark plug for a team, something that I think right now we could use at this point of the season. He's got lots of energy, lots of life, lots of skill, lots of offense, and he does the little things right, so we're excited to have him.
And John, finally, Brady Ferguson once again has emerged as a real leader for your hockey club, your leading point getter, of course, last year close to at the top anyways all season, and then just a steady performance each and every night, and I thought carried the load very nicely for you when there was a lot of recalls and things weren't going as well as they had been prior to.
Yeah, no, I mean, you see what he is, right? He's a centerman. He plays down the middle. He doesn't play anywhere else. I think he does a good job in the dot, and he does a good job through the middle of the ice, being available and distributing pucks and making plays one-on-one with speed. And when he gets an opportunity to score, he can score. He's been a staple for us this year. He's done everything the right way. I think he's finding another role in his game with more of a vocal guy, more of a leader. Last year he was a first-year guy. He's kind of finding his way through it, and he's a little bit more comfortable this year, and he's finding his way through that as well. So, obviously we're happy to have a player like him. We're lucky to have a player like him, and he continues to grow as a player and a person. That's all we can ask for.
And I got to sneak this in, having James Melindy back after his lengthy suspension. I'm sure that he wants to stick around and be in the lineup each and every night. He's your captain. He's a heart and soul guy in this club, and I'm sure the boys missed him immensely, especially bringing the leadership and physicality that he brings each and every shift.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for James is he's a great voice. He speaks up. He holds guys accountable. And you can hear the difference when he's in the room is something's being said when it needs to be said. And then on the ice, he speaks for himself. He's a north-south, move it quick, hard to play against, defend first defenseman, and it's something that we definitely need. Penalty kill needs him. Defensively, we need him because it's hard to play against him down low. You're not going to get to the net front. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to pay a price. So all those things, it ups the other guy's level on the back end because they know how hard he competes back there, and they got to step their game up and make sure they're playing hard like him. And so for us to get him back, it's huge for us right now.
Yep, and the opposition knows he's one tough hombre from the suburbs of St. John's. I better say the Goulds, where he's going to string me up and maybe throw a knuckle sandwich or two. Snowy, thanks for this. Continued success. Great job again this season, and go get him tonight.
All right, thank you.
Head coach John Snowden of your Newfoundland Growlers. Now back to Bill and Steve.
Turn the page and move forward, and got the tying goal from Linhart, but Obi's wraparound, taking a page out of Fergie's theatrics in the last couple of weeks or so with those wraparound attempts was a beauty. Marcus's redirection of the raw power shot really broke their will, I think, and then when Brazo scored that highlight reel goal and just a sensational pass by St. John's leader Marcus Power. Boy, I'll tell you what, that may have broken him. But let's see now. The first shift here will tell us if Adirondack are going to come back and continue to battle here, or are they going to succumb? If the Growlers score an early one here, Chris, it might be lights open. If Adirondack can claw themselves to within two, you never know. But I like the way the guys are moving here tonight. They look like a team possessed, trying to make it 4 straight.
And they'll be doing so. Adirondack with a new goaltender between the pipes, as that was enough they've seen out of, Evan Cormier. Eamon McAdam comes in to start the second period here. As Trent Bork had a nice look there. Top glove sign, just missed it over the net, left wing corner. A battle ensues, comes out into the slot. Gendron tried to poke it back away, but away come the Thunder. Sal Haney, that pass rolled too far in front of him. Trent Bork gets it back, almost lost control himself. He'll get it right back.
These kids are real good skaters, 38 and 18.
Ooh, that is they are going to become way more valuable down this stretch here than perhaps we may initially believe. Estefan pulls it away in the left wing boards, offensive zone, spins away from Curdy, puts it out in front, kept alive by Ferguson. Left wing corner, great job using his body to free it up. Powers sends it off the end boards for Powers.
There you go.
Powers along the line, back down for Marcus Powers. Oh man, this sucks. Back at center. It's just fun. It's a unique challenge to Bradley's Powers.
I love it.
Here come the Growlers, swept ahead on the right wing side, sending it just over the line and onside. Here's Brazo. Brazo steps in, roofs it, and that's blocked and out of play.
Marcus was wide open over there too, Chris. If Justin had that look back again, he may have tried to spot Powell on the other side of the lip. And Marcus hot as a firecracker, scoring his 24th. He's second to Justin Brazo's 27 goals now. The big guy needs 3 to hit the 30-goal campaign. And you said it, what? Scotty Pooley had 31 regular season tallies last year.
That's correct. So that stands as the Growlers' single-season goal-scoring record, very much in play over the home stretch here. A shot by Marcus Power, fought off by McAdam, and ends up out of play yet again.
So, Chris, that trip now next week, you'll be in Brampton at the CAA Center on Tuesday night.
Yep.
Kalamazoo, Michigan on Friday, and then back to Brampton for Saturday?
That's, yes. And then we fly back home on Sunday. And thank goodness, especially after all those jokes I made about doing all the chores. Not a chore, but my wife's birthday is the day we fly home.
Well,
so that's important to be back for that.
Yes, sure.
Centering feed there. Marcus Power had it get blocked on him. So he tries to get loose again. Managed to center, nobody home. Out the other side, Estefan, or Conrad rather, pulls it away and sends it up top to Powers. He'll reel it in. Tries a shot. That gets partially blocked. James Henry tries to clear. It's held by Conrad. Flip back toward the middle, intended for Trey Bradley, is ripped away. And skating out is Connor Riley, knocking it out of midair. Powers stays with him, introduces him to the boards as Powers. Those two continue to tussle. Puck rolls away into the high slot, and the Growlers get control. Out at center is Conrad. He'll bat a backhand in deep. Gives a little extra something to Jekyll there as he heads off for a line change.
Chris, he almost got a stick in the face. That's why he was sour.
Yep. Sal Haney chips it in behind the net and picks it up himself. Wheels around. Centering pass. There's the drive. And the glove hand of Angus Redmond came out of nowhere to reel that one in.
Yeah, he took it through a little leather sirloin out there, did Beef, and gathered that one in. 2:28 gone here. On their Saturday evening, excellent crowd here. Talking to Glenn Stanford just in the first intermission, and this was a sellout crowd here tonight. Now, of course, the weather, they're calling for a bit of tangliness again overnight, but hey, good crowd tonight, and they're enjoying what they're seeing.
Hard not to. 4-1 Growlers. Shots are 20-11 Newfoundland. Here comes a shot through traffic. That's blocked and pulled away by Gendron off the glass to the line. Not yet out, but here come the Growlers on a quick rush. It's Matt Bradley, one-on-one, and that's off a body, diving out of his goal to reel in the rebound is Eamon McAdam. He got it. Looked like Kevin Pillar out there going full Superman.
He did. Nice play by Emac, the former Growler, got himself a Kelly Cup ring. You think in his heart he would love to be back here?
Maybe at this stage of the season, maybe so.
Yeah, I would say.
Face off to the right of Eamon McAdam. Matt Bradley wins it to Trey Bradley. His shot, that glanced off the outside of the pad of McAdam. Bradley gets it back, fakes the slapper, tried to feed it down low. The slapper worked last night, but not on this play as the Thunder send it to center and ahead. Sell it way offside there. No one noticed the man sneaking in down the left wing, but the Growlers steal it away and push it ahead for Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch spies some open ice on the right wing side. He's bumped by Summers and still has it. Dylan Van Der Esch plays it out in front. Nobody home. The Growlers were caught on a line change, so Edward, just kisses that puck off the top of the glass, almost put it out of play. Robert Powers moved it out quickly. Flipped a bouncer into neutral ice, taken by Ferguson. What a move to get into the zone. Oh, what a pass that was. O'Brien hands off for Estefan. Knocked off his stick and will be skated away by Adirondack. Chipped in by Carrier. Right wing corner, Melindy patrolling back. Melindy ends up falling to the ice. Estefan, the loose puck, back in his own end. Melindy, I think he tried to throw the rear end into Nazarian there, but Curdy gets it at the line.
Very indiscreetly.
Send it across. And up top, Piero Zabatel, his drive redirected wide. 4:05 gone here in the second period of 4-1, and now a penalty on Newfoundland. Interference it is.
Yep. It's going to be an interference call on the captain, James Melindy, at the 4:10 mark here. Just the second power play of the hockey game for Adirondack. The Growlers have only had one, so Brent Rowland continues not to call a whole lot, and I'm good with that. I want to take time to say a special hello to the elderly, the shut-ins, and those who can't get out to attend Growler games at Mile 1 Center. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight on Rogers and Eastlink across Newfoundland and Labrador. And a special shout-out to the youngsters who may be tuned in at the J. May Children's Hospital in St. John's on this snowy Saturday evening.
To the right of Angus Redmond we go. Face off one back by Newfoundland. Quick snap off the end boards, and that's going to end up all the way behind David McAdam. Good start here to this penalty kill, brought to you by Johnson's Insurance. Just the second kill of the game. The Growlers 1 for 1 on their first, albeit truncated, penalty kill. Lead in deep off the dasher board. Right wing corner, Curdy is bodied by Bork. Puck comes to the left wing side and back to the point. Little give and go there. Back to the point and swept across for Curdy. Top of the right wing circle. Head on a swivel. Thought he found his man. Instead, he found the stick of Miles Gendron, who guides it out of play.
Georgia Estefan, Todd Skirving on the first offensive assignment. Here come the Bradley boys. That's Trey and Matty. Part of the Molson Coors 3-star sweep last night. Trey Bradley, the #1 star. Matt Bradley, #2. Todd Skirving was the 3rd star.
Face off one back again by Adirondack. 40 seconds gone on the man advantage. Side door back out in front. Great job by Trey Bradley getting his stick in the lane. And a great job by Matt Bradley to clear the zone.
Superlative penalty killing the #27, always.
Here comes Sissons with speed out of his own zone. He'll carry before dropping back for Salhaney. He'll get it back from Smatula over the line, stolen. And now this could be an odd man rush. Matt Bradley, great patience, getting out to center ice and calmly playing it back in his own zone. Passed ahead, Trey Bradley may get a shorthanded chance out of this, had his pocket picked, and Salhaney quickly moved it ahead. Now a 2-on-2 rush. In come the Thunder, not one wide of the cage. Off the end boards for Piero Zabatel. His pass stolen, and Trey Bradley's on a shorthanded break. All the time in the world, Bradley! Missed the backhand wide.
Nice try.
Oh, what a goal that would have been.
Sweet.
Nice move either way. Lindhart, a nice move himself. Poke checked away by Newgold, this area. 20 seconds to go on the Johnson Insurance penalty kill. High slot. Lindhart. Oh, that one may have grazed the outside of the goal post. Behind the net, Henry frees it back up for Edward, left wing boards. Back to the point. Oh, and just holding it in is Lindhart. Here comes a drive. Blocked by Newgold. And loose in the corner. 2 seconds to go on the power play. Melindy's on his feet. He's on the ice. And the Growlers are 2 for 2 on the kill. Good active stick there. Getting a piece and knocking it out of play again was Tommy Panico.
Bravo. That was, the crowd was still buzzing on that shorthanded break for Trey Bradley in Tampa, Florida, son of Brian. And of course, Mrs. Bradley as well. It would not have been possible without Mama.
Impossible.
But you know what? Trey had him. He just slid it through the 5-hole, and it just went wide of the goal.
All right, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brian. We just saw the highlight of the shorthanded opportunity that Newfoundland just had. Almost made it 5-1. And I guess if we can see that again. Break that play down.
Yeah, Dave, if you got that again, we'd love to see it. It's great penalty killing. We talked about that at the beginning of the broadcast and during the break, just how important the penalty kill is for Newfoundland, and they do such a great job. The energy of Trey Bradley is just amazing. Watch him pick this off. It's a good little pass. He's got great speed. This is all 5'10" and 170 pounds, Trey Bradley. And folks, that's soaking wet. But what a great hand. So I'd say, well, he really thought that was going in. Needed a little bit of Brad Gushu curling to kind of slide it through. Shout out, Brad. And again, but that was just a great little move there. A little forehand, backhand. Could have really turned this game on its head. 5-1. Great penalty kill, great energy. Love the way they're playing.
Oh, yeah, and the crowd, as you can hear, are loving it too here tonight at Mile 1. Let's throw it back to Chris and Brian with the call here on Rogers TV.
Staff of this hockey club.
Loose puck cleared away by Powers, but a little too far. That's an icing. So with 13:39 remaining here, the face-off will come back alongside Angus Redmond, who's seen just one measly old puck in the first 6 minutes and 21 seconds of this period.
I think Angus is content, to say the least. So this homestand will continue on St. Paddy's Day, and that's going to be a huge series, Chris. Tuesday, March 17th, Wednesday, March 18th, with the Reading Royals coming to town. And that, for all intents and purposes, could be a massive one to dictate who's going to finish first in this hotly contested Northern Division.
What a play by Marcus Power to hold it in, trying to find his man Conrad. Conrad gets it and plays it down low. McAdam out of his cage. Ooh, that was very close to a delay of game penalty. He almost covered the puck. That pass, it's going to be chipped in. Connor Riley gives chase in the left wing corner. He's guided in by Robert Powers. That pass, an ill-advised one, stolen. Here comes Conrad at center in the right wing. Finds some extra speed as he gets in over the line, reels the puck back for himself. And it took 3 members of the Thunder to strip him. Back at center, Connor Riley ships it in. Freed up in the corner. Entering with speed, Marcus Power heads it out to center. Off of Power, the clearing attempt, and he'll free it up for Brazo. Brazo plays it up along the left wing boards. Thought Power was going to be able to get to it. He had it stolen. Now the Growlers complete a line change as Adirondack's Pierrot Zabitel hits the zone and sends it in. Oh, a turnover there by Redmond. He's got his angle covered. Oh, a nice recovery, but well, at least we know Angus is confident in what he's doing out there, because that was a little dangerous.
Yes, sirree. Bobby, take a look at that puck. That almost came off the inboards and stuck through his 5-hole, and Angus almost tapped that in inadvertently with his back pad there, so he was very fortunate on that particular play. No damage done, still 4-1, 12:32 to the second intermission.
Adirondack trying to weave their way out in front. Great stick by Trey Bradley. He's got a sneaky good stick out there as he stole this one away, and it's played in by Matt Bradley. Not a ton of shots as we approach the 8-minute mark. There's his steal. Matt Bradley was stick checked, and his shot went wide. Played ahead by Walker through the middle for Pierrot Zabitel. Now on the right wing for Jaco. He'll get in. Ford stays with him as Jaco gets in the right wing corner, freeing it up behind the net. Backhand pass blocked away. Lands on the left wing. Sissons flips it back up top. Fake shot. There's a try. Ooh. And the pass landed right for Nazarian, and he scores.
Yeah, he wired that quick. Both of their goals, Chris, on quick seam passes. And no doubt about that one, as Nazarian makes it a 4-2 hockey game at 8:09 of the second period. 4-2.
An unfortunate break, as that was not the pass's intended target. I think it hit a body or a stick in front, and it tumbled right over to Nazarian, who was already prepped for the one-timer, and he made no mistake.
He didn't have much chance in that one, Chris.
He did not. So back to center ice we go. Now a 2-goal Growler lead. 4-2 is the score. And the Thunder, you knew they weren't going to just roll over. We've been saying that almost for a week now.
Yep.
Rolled in on Redmond, and he'll keep a hold of that one for a face-off.
And pardon the pun, obviously, but tongue-in-cheek. So that was Aaron Nazarian's 12th to wait for the assist on the second Adirondack goal. Coming even strength at 8:09. Only 3 power plays in the hockey game. Nobody has scored with the manpower advantage.
Nazarian's 12th from Salhaney and Payne. Salhaney and Payne get the helpers on Nazarian's 12th at 8:09. And the Thunder pull it back to the left point. Shot into the corner by Sadeo. Finds Salhaney down low. Salhaney gets it back. Walks the end boards and plays it up top. Linhart's shot is wide off the end boards. Advanced away by Ferguson, but not out. Linhart leaves the puck down low. New goal. A good job keeping on top of Smatula, and the Growlers force a turnover, and away comes Ferguson. O'Brien's with him. Played in over the line. McAdam out of his net. Gingerly leaves it behind the net for Sadeo, but he has it stolen by Estefan. His stick was tied up. He tried to center. Estefan frees it up, and now it's Conrad. Quick send back to the line. Melindy. Oh, what a recovery there. But the Growlers not out of the dark yet. Salhaney on the right wing boards. Gets by. Power shot. Rebound. Oh, what a save by Redmond. threw the right pad out and got to it just in time. He'll cover up, no further play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, the Growlers, they're going to have to take a look at themselves here collectively and say, boys, we got to get back to what we were doing in that second half of the first when we exploded with 3. That was very fortunate for Angus Redmond. As you see on the replays, he was able to gumpy across off a redirected a funky Karen there, and that slammed the door, but boy, the Thunder, Chris, you can feel it. They're rumbling.
Conrad jumped on the face-off with the Growlers. Well, they did control the puck. Now loose in the corner. Melindy flings it ahead, held in. There's his shot blocked, and it'll be skated out by Conrad. He'll flip it into the backside of Justin Brazo. He'll play it back in his own zone as Conrad hit by Riley again in neutral ice. Marcus Power gets it. He'll chip it free, and Connor Riley leaves that puck back. Thompson ahead. Brazo gets it in.
Offside.
Oh, I didn't think he touched it.
Yeah, Sheldon Keough nailed it. So we've got 9:58 gone here in the second. If you're just joining us, I'm Brian Rogers alongside the voice of your Newfoundland Growlers, Christopher Ballard. The entire Rogers and Eastlink crew on a Saturday night from Mile 1 Center. Bill Hart, Steve Callahan, and of course the crew at Rogers Studios in Ken Mount Road, the west end of the Port City.
At center ice, that was the Thunder trying to advance the play, but they flipped it into their bench, and we'll have another face-off.
Almost halfway home here in the middle stanza of this final game of this 3-game set against Adirondack. Thunder will get another night and probably maybe even 2 evenings left here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, as the progressive snowstorm heads our way again, like we haven't had enough already, almost 400 centimeters.
The Thunder pull away the face-off. Todd Skirving hard on the forecheck. He'll complete his check, forcing the Thunder to start it out of their own zone. A nice move for Sissons. He'll fling it up the left wing, rolled too far, and Gendron plays it ahead for Skirving. Skirving back for Gendron inside his own zone. Moved up to center quickly. Matt Bradley absolutely run from behind by Jay Colbert as the play goes back in, but rifled over the net by the Thunder. Matt Bradley, his first pass is blocked and kept by Piero Zabatel. The trailer, a shot they score through traffic. Oh boy, 4-3. Now the Growlers lead with 9:28 to go. I think that might be the only one Redmond might want to have back.
Well, that's the C&I dog through Angus Redmond there, and that's just a result of some sloppiness by the Growlers in their own zone. They get a number of opportunities to get it out, and this Adirondack Thunder team is not going to go away. You've documented that. We've talked about it till the cows come home, and here they are within 1 as they get their 3rd goal at 10:32 of this second period, and all of a sudden the 4-1 lead is gone.
Tommy Panico gets it off the draw and hands back for Newgold. Newgold starts it ahead, flipped it free, and Estefan gets it in deep. First man to the corner is Brady Ferguson, frees it up out the other side, trying to leave it for O'Brien. Behind the net, the Thunder come away with it. Here's Sal Haney.
Assist on the goal to number 18, Casey Piero Zabatel. Time of the goal, 10:32. That's Payne from Zabatel at 10:32.
Payne from Casey Piero Zabatel, and we got a 4-3 game here as Edward reels in another one and plays it ahead down the left wing. A drive stopped by Redmond, guided aside into the corner where the Thunder get it back. Swept to Linhart at the line, his shot off a stick and wide. Newgold advanced for Giorgio Estefan. Estefan, oh boy, his pass, a dangerous one, but it's collected and moved ahead for Ferguson. He'll chip it behind Linhart, but that's quickly stolen away. Now a 2-on-1. Sal Haney holds, puts it into the slot. There's the man. What a save with the glove by Angus Redmond.
I'm telling you, these guys better start to look at themselves here a little bit. I know there's no mirrors on the bench, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, this Adirondack Thunder team is taking advantage of some uncharacteristic turnovers by the Newfoundland Growler Hockey Club, and all of a sudden, a 4-1 lead is now a 1-goal lead, and very precarious to say the least.
To the right of Beef Redmond we go. Back to the line and across Curdy. Face-off was won by Adirondack. High risers off the inboards wide. Thompson holds it in. He'll play it down low. Henry tries to walk out of that corner. Sends it back to Thompson at the line. Back for Henry. Cross ice for Curdy, but he couldn't hang on to the pass. He will recover and send it for Thompson. Steps in, wires one, and a big pad save there for Redmond as the clearing attempt from James Melindy is off his stick and out of play. Well, it's getting interesting here. The Growlers had a 4-1 lead up until the 8:09 mark, and then 2 goals in just over 2 minutes.
Well, 8:09, Nazarian's 12th, and then Payne's 12th came at 10:32.
To the right of Redmond once again. Face off again, pulled away by Adirondack, stepping into the slot, no shot, Thompson. He'll hand off, there's a shot, oh, that one trickled in, but another big pad save by Redmond, and now a clearing attempt, Van Der Esch plays it ahead. Curdy trying to stay in front of him, Van Der Esch puts it in front, Trey Bradley pinballs around, and it's cleared by Adirondack, wide of Redmond, and that's going to be an icing.
Well, a pinball wizard could be very useful for the Newfoundland Growlers at this juncture here. They're being manhandled here, outshot 11-2 and outscored 2-0 here in the second period. Chris, we figured going into this period it was going to be one extreme or the other. Adirondack were going to suck it up and say, hey, that was a terrible first period. Let's go out and show them that we're a much better hockey club than that. Well, the Growlers were going to pour it on, as the Skirvings would say up in Thunder Bay. Well, it has been the initial comment. It's been all Adirondack.
Ferguson on the draw. He'll win it back. O'Brien, his shot, kick free, and hold down, rebound in front for O'Brien, and that's, they're going to say it was. So play continues. Gendron back at the blue line, through traffic. That's blocked. And now to the line, Bork sends it down low. Adirondack comes away with it. They'll clear the zone. This will be another icing here for Adirondack.
Well, that's a better shift ashore in the number 1 line. Brady Ferguson centering Giorgio Estefan and Zach O'Brien. They hit a monstrous first period. And now they need to get back there and take the bull by the horns here as the very game Thunder Hockey Club continue to battle here like it's their last hope. And that's always making any hockey club a dangerous team to be up against.
Ferguson on the draw. He's tied up. O'Brien steps in, but it's pulled away by Thompson for Adirondack. Played ahead towards center, rolling puck down into the Newfoundland zone, halfway home, but Bork, he'll clear it out right to Eamon McAdam. Brady Ferguson charges in, and he'll make sure Eamon hangs on to that one.
Well, hey, that's better than nothing. Get it in there, and the guys need to start moving their feet here, Chris. I'm sure it's a little mystifying for the head coach, John Snowden, and his assistant, the veteran Darrell Williams, of the Long Harbor, Newfoundland and Labrador, via Mount Pearl and Labrador City. On the other side of the coin, Alex Lowe and Pete Deneen have their hockey club at the Glens Falls, New York, US of A, going real well here in this second period, trailing by 1, when all could have been over.
Skirving to center, Brazo and Power. Face-off pulled away by Adirondack. Well, they've certainly owned the advantage in the face-off dot, at least here in the second period. And that has certainly opened up the game a bit for them. James Henry hooked, and there by Bork. Tried to tackle Bork back to the ice, but Gendron gets control and plays it ahead. Brazo back in his own zone, kicked out of the zone by Bork. Off the glass, knocked down by Jekyll. He's bodied by Skirving. And now a hand pass.
Hand pass is correctamundo. 6:32 to the second intermission when Bill Hart, Steve Callahan will chatter up what they've seen here in this second period of play. A little one-sided here, but the Growlers, the good news is they're still winning this hockey game. And Miles Gendron, Oakville, Ontario native via Boston, Massachusetts, will be my second intermission guest. Good kid.
Sissons finds his man ahead in Payne. He's got one of the goals tonight. That's broken up in neutral ice. The Thunder coming offside. The faceoff comes outside the Newfoundland blue line with 6:21 remaining. Shots are 22-19 in favor of Newfoundland.
9-4, Chris, for Adirondack here in the second. Still plenty of time to reverse that, though. Next goal is big, Chris. Obviously, you know it sounds corny, but it's true.
Panico gets it off the draw, and Conrad plays it back. New goal. Retreats behind the net. Sidesteps his way ahead. Great pass for Conrad. Oh, and a high hit there sends Conrad to the ice, and Brazo in on a one-on-one. He's hauled down, and that's a penalty to Jake Cole. The Growlers are going on the power play with 5:58 to go in the second here.
Chris, I'm just going to, I'm not going to say I'm disagreeing with you, but I think that the hit on Cole Conrad was a very good hockey hit, to be honest with you. I didn't see it as maybe high because the player that dished it out is a lot bigger.
Well,
Cole Conrad's
likely.
not that big. But he puts himself in those positions, but he's fearless too, Chris. I talked to him about that. You know what? He said, hey, it's the price you're going to pay to make a player to get that puck and to keep going. I'm going to do it every time, whether I get Coco bonked or not.
Yep.
And he kind of walked.
All right, we're just noticing that clean, open ice hit that you just saw the replays of. But how about this Adirondack team? At the top of the show, we mentioned a tough mental game on their behalf was very important, and boy, they showed it. With a goaltending switch, they're now 1 goal down.
You make these decisions, you don't know how they're going to come out sometimes as a coach, but you make your goaltending decision. Then that missed breakaway, how important was that now?
Right.
We look back, it's nice to kid about a highlight, but when you miss that breakaway, all of a sudden they get the next one and the next one. Now it's a 4-3 game with momentum. Huge open ice hit, and then from that, you know, Brazo keeps his feet moving,
right,
and he's forced to be hauled down. Huge power play coming up now.
Oh, big,
huge special teams for both teams. Newfoundland on the power play, and a huge penalty kill for Adirondack now so that they get rewarded for their efforts.
All right, back to you, Chris and Brian, with the call as the Growlers are on the power play on Rogers TV.
And Miles Gendron on the ice.
Either Obi with his second here or Gio's going to pull the trigger.
I'm not much of a betting man, but I'd probably take that.
Neither am I. Just get gut feelings every once in a while.
Face off for Estefan, and he'll win it cleanly back. Gendron in the high slot. He'll dish it back for Estefan. Side door, trying to get that pass across was Power. That gets blocked and cleared by the Thunder.
And of course, we can't forget the short-handed goal.
I was going to say the same thing. Adirondack's got one in this series here already, so Gendron, he'll be careful as he walks it out. Nice toe drag by O'Brien to keep it away from Riley. And over the line was Ferguson. He had his pocket picked and it's cleared away. Redmond ahead for Gendron. Gendron, a forward pass, and Marcus Power is going to say he was offside. 35 seconds gone here on this Pepsi power play. 5:23 to go in the second period. Coming up at your second intermission on Mixler, we'll hear from Dylan Van Der Esch and Colt Conrad.
They're calling that a two-line pass, eh? On the offside, with them bringing it all the way back here. Well, look where the face-off's coming. Or is it me missing something? You don't see that very often anymore, do you?
I don't know. I'm fairly confident.
I thought he was straddling the line when he took the feed. I thought it was clean, but I guess the linesman and referee didn't.
So Adirondack, they'll retreat into neutral ice and tumble one down into the Newfoundland zone. 45 seconds gone on the power play. Growlers snap it back for Conrad inside the Newfoundland zone. Quickly to center with Trey Bradley. He'll hand to Matt Bradley, rolling it into the left wing corner. Trey gives chase as the clearing attempt is corralled by Brazo. He'll play it behind the net. Matt Bradley has to jump in off the line to free it up. He'll do just that. Brazo tried to get in the way, and he did, but he put it out of play.
Well, the Adirondack Thunder give full marks due where they're due. They've done a real good job of keeping this very, very quick and adept Newfoundland Growler offensive machine off track here in the second after they exploded for 3 consecutive goals after the hockey game was locked at a 1-1 tie on goals by Brady Ferguson for Newfoundland and Jake Lindhart for Adirondack. They scored 3 in a row, but the Thunder with 2 in a row, and they're not going away, Christopher.
And Matt Bradley will take this face-off inside the offensive zone. Pulled across, now a foot race, Robert Powers. Great job to corral that one, leaving it there. Spinning attempt for Trey Bradley is off a body and back into the Newfoundland zone. 45 seconds of man advantage time remains. So Colt Conrad picks it up. Leaves it for Robert Powers.
Somebody going to get a shot on goal here, Chris.
He'll head it up. Here's Trey Bradley in over the line. Great feed to Brazo. Brazo trying to get it toward the net. That's partially blocked. Trey Bradley gets it back to the point. Right side for Robert Powers, but he couldn't hang on to the pass. It ends up back to center. Conrad turns it back into the right wing with speed. Gets behind the defense, swings it out, and it's off the outside of the net. I thought Conrad pulled an O'Brien and tucked it into the wraparound. 11 seconds to go on the man advantage. Top of the circle. Trey Bradley puts it back into neutral ice. Brings it back in onside. He's knocked. Here's Brazo. That puck blocked in front and it pinballed just away.
Did that hit Conrad and go wide? Kind of looked like it.
Panico able to play it down, but turns it over. 3-on-1 for the Thunder. What a block that was. But it's still in the Growlers zone. Newgold, the second block in as many seconds. And the Growlers play it ahead. Oh, two Thunder collide in neutral ice. Keep your heads up, kids. 3:30 to go here in the second period. Ooh, a nice feed there, and in come the Thunder, a partial 3-on-2. Nazarian across. Zabatel to the line for Curdy. Through traffic. Out one wide of the cage. Off the end boards. O'Brien got to it first. Can't get it out. Loose behind the net for Payne. Newgold trying to stay with him. Payne gets away. Left wing side. He'll try to curl into the slot, leaving it back for Curdy. Right hand point. Snap pass down low. Stolen by Panico. This area stays on it. Poked away, all the way into the high slot, stolen by Estefan. He'll turn on the Jets, and now he's on a breakaway. Giorgio, oh, he's stopped by McAdam.
Oh, Gio looks to the skies. It's coming, kid. Keep moving your feet, baby. You're a skilled player at this level. And that was a gorgeous save by former Growler Eamon McAdam, the Pennsylvania native, flashing his cowhide crab on that one, baby. That was a great save. That would have been a massive goal for the Growlers to score right there. 4-3 for Newfoundland. 2:53 to go. And holy cow, we've got ourselves a hockey game going here tonight.
Skirving tied up on the face-off, taken back by Sisson. He'll head behind the net. That's going to end up the length of the ice. First man back is Gendron. And that's an icing for Adirondack. This period has been a little slow going here, which has favored, I think, the Adirondack Thunder. Well, clearly they've gotten to Angus Redmond twice here. But the Growlers still lead 4-3. Shots are 23-19. Yeah, for Newfoundland.
Well, Chris, you know, like this is what, the 10th game between these teams of 11, and we don't want to beat a dead horse here, but we talked about it. All the games have been highly competitive and for the most part relatively close. Penalty here to Skirv slash.
It's funny how the call itself wasn't what got the attention of the referee. It was the player dropping his stick. Did you notice that?
Kinda, yeah.
Yep. So a slash has been called on.
That's what Todd's saying too.
It laid itself out so perfectly there. So the Growlers will be shorthanded 2 minutes or less here, up by a goal.
Now this is rather odd for Brett Rowland because he's called pretty much not a whole lot Wednesday, and then last night one apiece, and now tonight this is the 5th power play of the hockey game, 3rd for Adirondack. Nobody scored with a manpower advantage. Hopefully it stays that way.
The Growlers, good stick there by Trey Bradley, helping guide that one out of the Newfoundland zone. So the Thunder will start it ahead with Sissons with the puck. Handing back to Sal Haney. He'll get it back. A little give and go at the center ice face-off Todd, and in come the Thunder left wing corner. Smatula, he's knocked off the puck as Matt Bradley clears the zone. Eamon McAdam well out of his cage, hands back for Colby Sissons on an NHL contract with the New Jersey Devils. He'll hand it back. Up for Sal Haney. Chips it by Matt Bradley and picks it back up, sends it behind the net, waiting for that one. It's Miles Gendron. He'll tumble it down again. 45 seconds gone on the man advantage here. This Johnson's insurance penalty kill for Newfoundland, their 3rd of the game. And an outlet feed ends up all the way in on Redmond. No harm done. He'll clear the zone himself. Back to center. That'll force Piero Zabatel to have to tag up, and it'll force the Thunder into their own zone. 55 seconds left on this power play. Comes across on the right wing, Nazarian. Gets it in deep. Malindi, nice job against the end boards. He's tied up with James Henry. Big scrum pulled away. Losing a tire, though, is Estefan, and the Thunder hold it in. At the line, Piero Zabatel hands off to the left wing. Stolen by Estefan. He's going to get away, and he has O'Brien with him. He'll find O'Brien with a pass. O'Brien stops, cuts in. O'Brien is stopped by McAdam. A great short-handed opportunity with a buck 06 to go in the period. 26 seconds left on this Skirving minor penalty. Well, that's one way to kill a penalty, Brian.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, even McAdam has come to play here since relieving young Evan Cormier after that 4-goal outburst in the first. He's been flawless here so far. I mean, he hasn't faced a great deal of Glasgow Biscuits. That's just the 6th shot of the second period, 24th of the game for the Growlers, who lead 4-3, but Emack has been steady as she goes, and he made a couple big saves up too, bona fide snipers.
Matt Bradley wins it back. Panico backpedals to center before sending this one in. Just 19 seconds left on this Adirondack power play, and Sissons looking to take charge himself, but that's flipped away by Matt Bradley into neutral ice. The Growlers, Panico gets it back, sends a little chip shot to the line, but can't get it out. Connor Riley threads a pass through and gets the pass back. Tries to cut to the net and leaves it in the corner. 40 seconds left in the period. Here comes Skirving. We're back to 5 aside. There's a shot redirected wide of the cage, collected back by Adirondack. Sharp angle, that one right into the glove of Redmond with 30 seconds left in the second.
Well, it's a smart play by the Adirondack forward there. Ryan Walker, number 25, who drew an assist earlier in this hockey game. Back on the first goal by Jake Lindhart. Adirondack's only strike in the opening period. They figured they've beaten Angus a couple times, one through 5-hole, one through a screen, so why not just to keep firing the puck at the net? Now all of a sudden, Thunder up to 20 shots and 10 in this second period alone, where they have scored 2 unanswered goals to knock down a 4-1 deficit, making it a 1-goal hockey game.
Growlers win the draw, flip to center ice by Panico, good tie up by Van Der Esch, and Trey Bradley gets loose and puts one in from a sharp angle. That's fought off by McAdam. Van Der Esch steals it right back for Newfoundland and sends it to the line. 15 seconds to go in the period. New goal. Right back down low. Matt Bradley just out of his reach. Tommy Panico activates off the line. He'll tie up Sal Haney. In the skates of Panico, sweeping it back down low. And the Growlers, oh, they had a great looking chance there late in the period, but time did expire. 4-3 Newfoundland after 40 minutes. A pretty tight period, but hey, a lead heading into the third nonetheless.
Well, they'll just go back in there, regroup, count their lucky stars that they didn't give up the equalizer, because anytime you let a team in and let them come all the way back, that's never a good thing, giving them so much more intestinal fortitude to come out here and say, hey, we got this in the third period. Oh, we'll see. The Growlers will see a different hockey club, I suspect, in the third. But then again, Adirondack played a picture-perfect, almost, Chris, road period here away from the cozy confines of the Glens Falls Civic Center in Lake Placid, the Lake George area of New York State. So 4-3 after 40 minutes of play. That sent things down to Bill Hart. Ghost 101.1, Steve Callahan to dissect that second period. My second intermission guest will be Miles Jenner, number 38.
Thank you, Chris and Brian. Bill Hart and Steve Callahan here with you for the second intermission. If that first period was all Newfoundland, then surely this second period is all Adirondack.
It certainly has been all Thunder. And, you know, we saw that, again, we talked about it in the break, some good decisions, some good momentum changings, but sometimes it's all about the save or the missed goal that doesn't go in, and then the momentum just gets steamrolling from there. That's what happened with Adirondack. We saw it right from the highlight package, right from the get-go. They get on the board real nice and early here, and we see it right here. Just a beautiful crisscross pass, good zone play by Adirondack. They really ripped that one home, and I love, just look, everybody's moving, little passes, little tip shots, comes right over, right into the wheelhouse, and he banged that one home, cut that down to 4-2. Made it interesting. We didn't really see it. You know, we didn't have the panic button pressed at that point in time, but the next one was really key there.
Well, a 2-goal lead is probably the worst in hockey, without a doubt, and this is how Adirondack came within one.
Yeah, and here we see it here, just rolling. Again, as you just mentioned, it makes that nervousness. Everybody's tries to stop, sort of pinch back a little bit. Love the zone entry, love the shots. Didn't get the puck out of the net. Adirondack came right back, and this is just get that shot off right away, nice and low, about just over, you know, stick side. But look at the traffic. The shooting lane was just completely clogged up. Great play there, great shot. Everybody was kind of puck watching a little bit. The puck comes right out. Nice shot on goal. Get that zip right through. Everybody's focused on the lanes. Cut it down to 4-3, made it really interesting. And then we had some real key goaltending.
Well, we talked about the mental game, of course, and the Adirondack team decided to switch their goaltenders after the first period of play. A name that we all know very well, Eamon McAdam, former Growler goalie from last year, and the save he made here was pretty darn good.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you make those decisions hoping that things turn around, but certainly key moments in the period right here. Little breakaway, okay, and again, the speed is right there. He's all in alone. He goes right here, boom, snag that little puck. Such confidence, you know, pushing right back off into the top of the blue and showing the save. You know, again, a little flash of the leather. I don't even know if it's leather anymore, but still, for us who grew up, it's a flash of the leather, so we love to see that.
And that was shorthanded, by the way, and McAdam made another save on a breakaway to keep the Adirondack within one goal. This Newfoundland Growlers were up 4-3. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back momentarily as the second intermission continues on Rogers TV.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
All right, thank you very much. And we're going to check in with Brian Rogers now, who spoke with Newfoundland Growlers defenseman Miles Gendron about his Ontario roots. And we're talking to him in just a few minutes. All right, so here we go. We have 4-3 here, and what can we do? What can we do?
No, listen,
This has got to be. It's more.
Thanks, Steve. Back here with Miles Gendron, number 38 of your Newfoundland Growlers, one of the newly acquired rear guards for the defending Kelly Cup champion team. Miles, thanks for joining us on our broadcast on Rogers Eastlink across Newfoundland, Labrador. You're an interesting story and a great young guy. We get to know each other now over the last few days here as you made your way to St. John's via that trade through the Ottawa Senators and Toronto Maple Leafs. Tell me what it's been like for you so far.
It's pretty cool. I was on my way to get groceries when I got the call, and honestly, I was really excited. The Leafs were my favorite team growing up, so it was pretty cool for me.
Yep. You were drafted by the Ottawa Senators, and then all of a sudden find yourself with the blue and white, and having a birthplace of Oakville, Ontario, but growing up in Boston. We need to know the scoop on that. How old were you when you left Canada to go down to what is my favorite city in the U.S. of A? People may say I'm crazy, but I've been there that many times. It's almost like a second home.
Yeah. When I was 5, I moved to Boston. My dad got a job down in Boston, but I'd already built some roots there in Toronto. My neighbors made sure we were big-time Leaf fans, so it kind of stuck with me all growing up.
Well, that had to be tough growing up as a youngster in Boston, as tough as a city it can be, depending on, especially if you're in the Southie end of the city, where the diehard Bruin fans really are, and all the Irishmen and such. But what was it like, like as a youngster growing up there with Canadian roots?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Everyone has their own beliefs of what they think Canada is. A lot of the people from Boston who haven't been think that we live in igloos and stuff, but it's pretty funny. But I don't know. I enjoyed my time growing up there, and obviously it was pretty cool, like Boston winning a couple cups. So hockey was big there, just as big as it was here.
How old were you when you started playing the greatest game in the world?
I think I was 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was 4. It was right before we moved. I started playing on a team down here.
So have skates, stick, gloves, we'll travel.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Much.
Yeah.
Outside of the Boston area, when you were a youngster where'd you play your minor hockey? Any systems down in Beantown that people may be aware of? Because let's face it is one of the Massachusetts have produced so many great hockey players, along with the state of Minnesota and Michigan. Those were the 3 big U.S. Export cities or states for hockey players.
Yeah, I played on a team called the Boston Mission. The coach of the team, actually, his son's Connor Garland. He plays for the Coyotes.
Oh, okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, I played with him growing up, and it was pretty good. We were a good team. We were just like a tournament travel team. It was just our birth year. It was pretty good.
Yeah. So you've had a taste of Newfoundland before, though, with the Brampton Beast, and you played a little bit with the Toronto Marlies as well. What was it like for you playing in that organization in Brampton before coming to Newfoundland?
It was pretty cool. Obviously, when you get drafted by a team, you have some pretty strong ties. Obviously, I dreamed a lot about playing for them one day after they picked me. But obviously, it didn't work out going all the way up. But hopefully, just start to get things going here, fresh start.
when you first joined this team, obviously you saw what a special group it is, defending champions, great leadership, great skill set. There's been a lot of influx and a lot of changes over the last month, you know, after the trade deadline came and gone. But you had to feel like part of the boys, I would think, what, but just to being around them for maybe a day, you get so woven into the group, it doesn't take very long.
Yeah, no, especially meeting the team on a road trip like down in Florida when all the guys are doing a little bit of team bonding. It's good. It's good to jump in then, so that way you sort of get to know the guys on a personal level before you jump out there on the ice with them.
Explain to our viewers on Rogers and Eastlink here tonight what type of hockey player you are. What are your strengths? What are the things you'd like to work on to improve to get you to the next level?
Yeah, for sure. My strength is skating, so I just got to learn to use my feet more. I think I can skate myself out of trouble, but I think I also got to work on getting stronger. Obviously, I'm 6'3", but I'm 190, so that's kind of light for a guy my height. So hopefully I can put on some weight and just hopefully get to that next level.
You've shown a flair for the offense, scoring back-to-back goals in your first 2 games as a Growler. That had to feel pretty doggone good.
Yeah, it did feel good. I was going through a little bit of a slump scoring, so it was good to get 2 and then, or get the first one and then to get another one the next night kind of reassures you that, hey, I can score at this level.
Yeah, especially after the guys got kind of shut down in Estero, losing 3-0 to the Florida Everblades and dropping a 5-1 decision to Orlando the following night. But then you break out and score a franchise record 9 goals the next day against former Ice Cap Johnny Albert and the Jacksonville Icemen. How important was that victory, do you see, for your team turning the corner and then coming home as we prepare for this 3rd game against Adirondack?
Yeah, I think it just shows us how good we are, how much we can score. Obviously, when you go 2 games only scoring 1 goal, you start to maybe think a little bit if we can put the puck in the net. But you know, you score 9 in 1 game, it reassures you, oh yeah, we can do this for sure. So it was good to get 9 there.
Yeah, absolutely. And they tightened up after that for sure in a close 4-3 victory over Adirondack on Wednesday. With Miles Gendron of the Newfoundland Growlers, number 38 on the backhand. Miles, I was very impressed with you and Trent Bourque playing together. Was that a little different coming in? 2 guys that came by a deal, a trade between the organizations, playing together and having success off the hop?
Yeah, it was good. I think Bourque and I really like each other, so it makes it easier to play with a guy you really like. Just find a little bit of chemistry. Also, I know him, so it's easy to talk and just make plays.
Yeah. Anyways, there's Todd Skirving, who always has to be part of something, one way, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Well, we love the beard. Finally, Miles, was there a certain player as a youngster growing up that you tried to pattern your game after?
Well, I was a forward, so I really like to look up to like Matt Sundin, and my brother was a big fan of Alexander McGillney. So we watched those 2 guys. But then my favorite defenseman was Thomas Caberlet. I liked his short stick and the way he moved the puck, so it was pretty good.
Well, you move it extremely well too. I was very impressed. And finally, before I let you go, what about off-season interests outside of the great game of hockey? What do you like to partake in?
I played baseball growing up. I played golf, tennis. I just about anything that gets me outside. You know, I played football in high school. Like, it was just, for me, anything to do with sports and just being competitive and playing games outside was what I like to do.
That's awesome. Baseball, hockey, football, doesn't get much better than that. Thanks so much for joining us, Miles. Good luck, continued success, and here's hoping that you'll be playing hockey in June, just like last year when the guys in their inaugural season won the Kelly Cup.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
Here's Miles Gendron, number 38 of your Newfoundland Growlers. Watch this kid. He's got a bright future ahead, and he's a lot of fun to watch on the ice out there. Now back to Bill and Steve.
All right, thank you very much there, Brian. Miles, has he ever touched a razor in his life? How baby face is he?
I'm not sure he has. Got a little toothless grin, though. He's got a little Bobby Clark smile. That's good to see.
Bobby Clark,
Yep.
going all retro there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so it's been a week now, and the entire province has been very excited about the Northeast Eagles PWC All-Stars and the fact that they indeed won the Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup. Now, for those who are not familiar with it, they were amongst the top 10 finalists. And what it is, I guess the players essentially do something as a part of their community. And it's like, so Good Deeds video is as we got right here. Now, the Good Deeds Cup, of course, this is, they've made over $100,000 for winning this.
amazing. They've got a connection within the team, within the family, with the goaltender, and the family has a connection to Rainbow Riders. So they have this idea at the beginning of the year that they want to start raising money, and you know, being involved in the community, and that's how this took part. Then they got registered for that. Then the mission just got behind it. The team obviously, and that's what I love about these teams, is that they play with such, you know, passion, and to come together for good causes anyway. They really are truly playing for the love of the game, but this became a life good self and took a hold of it. They got partnered up, they ran with the mission, and then obviously we saw, you know, what was such a good situation. I love to see it. And like anything with our community, Newfoundland gets behind it, and it's great to see. And the votes started coming in, it never stopped from there, and now they've become national champions, so to speak, with the Good Deeds Cup. Such a great thing to see, certainly very exciting.
Well, kudos to the team, because $100,000 was raised, but they had already raised over 20 grand for the cause.
Yep.
So kudos on them. A great lesson for these young men, and definitely something that they'll remember when they become older men and older players.
Very proud of.
All right, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back when the second intermission continues on Rogers TV.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
Spirit of Newfoundland has been delivering laughter, love, music, and magic.
From our all-star cast and crew, bringing you the best dining and entertainment experience all year round.
Spirit of Newfoundland.
Proud sponsors of Rogers TV.
If you want convenience, Marie's Money Mart is here for you. A one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
This is a story about connections between donors, recipients, and all the people that bring them together. From blood and plasma, to stem cells, to organs and tissues. Something we can do today and know that because of us, someone else is waking up healthy tomorrow. Because we can all be the reason, the connection, that keeps Canada's lifeline going. Canadian Blood Services. Book your donation today at blood.ca.
All right, thank you very much, and we are back here. We get set for the start of the third period of play. You look back and how the Newfoundland Growlers just opened up this with a flurry of offense, up 4-1, and Adirondack. And again, we stress the mental tough. This game is truly, hockey is truly a mental game as much as it is a physical one.
It is, and I think that, you know, the mental part is so much more stronger, because sometimes that's the first part that goes, and once the mind goes, the body soon's to follow after it. But we've seen some good decisions. Sometimes those work out, sometimes they don't. The goalie change results in, you know, hey, let's see what happens here. It's 4-1. All we need to do is get the next one. That's usually what comes from the coach's point of view. Then when you get the next one, it's, hey, now we've got some energy, and certainly Newfoundland changed this game from there. They start to play a little bit of a sit-back game, which is what happened. We saw that on the third goal. Everybody was kind of puck-watching a little bit. Shots went through that way. So certainly you make those decisions, and they turn to go out. That missed opportunity on the breakaway, and how it snowball effects that way. So it's a mental game sometimes. Somebody's got to make the decision. The coach was the one that made the decision. And I think he said to himself, you know, hey, we weren't ready in that first period. We don't want everything to fall back on the goalie. But then you make that decision, and you hopefully make that change. And it did result in it. All first period Newfoundland, all second period Adirondack. Makes for just a great third period.
Well, I'll tell you, this North Division, even though the Newfoundland Growlers, the only team to clinch a playoff spot so far, only 14 points separate them from the final playoff spot, and Adirondack is only 10 points out, and there's still plenty of games left. So it is definitely a do-or-die attitude, and desperation hockey is underway. And, you know, you've learned this growing up. There's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal.
Yeah, very much. This is a period of time when you really have to be mentally strong, like you said. And that wounded animal, you sometimes don't pay attention to them, and all of a sudden they sneak up on you. You know, it's a time of habits. It's a time for Newfoundland to make sure that they're putting good habits into place. They are. They know this was just a bad period. It got away from them. They'll focus. They'll clamp down. They'll make sure that they close out this third period. But that character that we saw from Adirondack was fantastic. They're going to make sure that they want to leave here with those 2 points, and they're good habits right now as well.
Yeah. And very important to pay attention to all the rest of these games, because the first round of the playoffs are within the division. And like we said, this is the most competitive, most tightly knit division in all the league. And pretty much there's going to be a tough first round opponent no matter who they face.
Absolutely.
In this North Division. All right, we're going to wrap things up here and get set for a third period that's going to be a slobber knocker, for lack of a better term. The Growlers up 4-3. We're going to throw it back up to Brian and Chris. They have the call on Rogers TV.
It's a pretty good indication of who wants it the most. And if I'm Adirondack and we were trailing at that point, I'll say we on their side of the ledger. Well, you got to feel good about yourself, saying let's just keep pushing like we did in period 2 and see if that'll parlay into a couple points, for goodness sakes, because Lord knows they haven't had any luck at all here at this building.
Face off one back by Adirondack. Quick stat before we get into the action, real hot and heavy here. The Growlers, when leading after 2 periods, own a record of 27 wins and 2 losses.
Okay, so they have had 2 losses, so they're not invincible.
Which
but
is
I like
still actually a little high compared to a lot of teams have real gaudy records.
Yep.
The Florida Everblades are 35-0.
Yeah,
good leading, you know, and that's to be
crazy
expected by some of your league leaders. But hey, still like those numbers as Estefan carries in.
Well, let's see.
Tries to get by his man Thompson along the boards, and he will. Leaves it in the corner. Ferguson's tied up there by Smatula, but he'll kick it loose, and Estefan, he's flipped to the ice there as the Thunder pick up the puck. Out to center, Curdy flipped in on the left-hand side, onside for Redward. That one rolled wide of the cage. Sal Haney played it back behind the net. Ferguson doing a good job keeping his man at bay and freeing it up for Giorgio Estefan. He'll take charge to center. He'll hand it off. Miles Gendron jumps in off the blue line, trying to center it. That's going to be blocked, but O'Brien looking to get it back, and he will. Oh, Estefan wasn't sure what to do with that pass. O'Brien gets it back. Centers for Estefan. Oh, he missed it side door. So does O'Brien, trying to jam it back in. O'Brien gets it back, but in the slot, nobody home. Casey Piero Zabitel. He'll be shouldered by Bork.
The kid's a good player.
That rolls into the Newfoundland zone. Conrad played behind the net for Gendron. Gendron looks up ice. What a feed to Marcus Power. Sends it across for Conrad. He'll step in. And a big blocker save there. What a smart play that was. Behind the net, Conrad. Oh,
That's interference.
Brazo. Well, not according to this referee.
Oh, my.
It's cleared to center ice. Newgold quickly ahead off the stick of Conrad. He'll get it in. On McAdam, quickly played away.
See ya. That's a penalty. Look out. Oh, some gal just got you. Get off your phone and watch the play. Somebody just got cocoa bonked with a puck. I hope she's okay.
Well, they gave her the puck.
Oh, that's
so
good.
That'll help.
Well, maybe she's all right, but you got to keep your eye on that thing. Why people pay good money to come watch hockey game and then spend their night on the phone is beyond me. I guess in this day and age, I do understand, but I don't know why. And you know what I mean? You see it in the NHL.
I understand.
You look at them, they're all there grooving and moving. Like, I mean, you can watch that thing 24/7, but if you're paying $250 for a good seat, you might as well get the most of it. Hey, watch the game.
I agree. So that may have glanced off the glass here. No
yeah,
power
they caught
play.
a break there.
So Matt Bradley steps in on this offensive zone draw. Pulled away instead by the Thunder. They got to get it out quickly here. Sissons ahead. That one got through. Connor Riley and Trey Bradley. His pass, couple of opportunities. Snatched away by Smatula, or Sissons rather. 2 minutes gone now here in the third period. The Growlers still ahead 4-3. James Henry. He's going to wheel back in his own zone. Matt Bradley all over Sissons trying to get out. Matt Bradley forces him to do another twirl. What a feed ahead for Walker. And he missed it wide. The rebound swatted away by Powers. Ripped back down low. Melindy tried to knock it down as it rolled into the right wing corner. James Henry trying to center. He's pinned by Powers. Puck freed up but stolen. Vander Esch. He'll start it out towards center, hitting the line and getting this one in deep. Well, Adirondack's going to get their chances here, Brian, it looks like.
Chris, that looked too easy there. I don't like that. He just waltzed.
Behind the net, the Thunder move it ahead. Bork trying to stay with Smatula. Great job, hold him down, a penalty on the play.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Adirondack Thunder coming hard here. The Growlers can't seem to catch a break with Roland here. Estefan, there was a couple interference calls there that went uncontested, and now he goes up with the arm real rapid like, and here comes power play number 4. The penalty killing's been outstanding, but Trent Bork takes a penalty there and a slow skate to the penalty box, and I think he questioned that. Thought he had good positioning on his man, but Roland behind the play saw it differently, and so this is a test here for this Growler Hockey Club. Just 2:51 into period number 3, leading 4-3.
Mike Smatula to take the draw in the offensive zone here for the Thunder against Giorgio Estefan, pulled back by the Thunder to the left point. Sissons leaves it same side. Smatula back to Sissons at the point across. One-timer off the outside of the net.
Yeah.
Skirving, his first clear off a body right into the slot. And now the Growlers, they'll get to center. Tripped up was Gentrin, no call here.
Yeah.
Sissons at his own blue line, starts it back. Leaves it in his own zone. Pass across, finds Smatula. He'll bring it in onside. Riley across. That's off the stick of Estefan. He might get a chance to skate away with this one. Skirving gets in with him there as Estefan plays it all the way back for Newgold inside the Newfoundland zone. 40 seconds gone here in the power play for Adirondack. This penalty kill brought to you by the Hickman Auto Group behind the net. McAdam. Ooh, has to be careful there as Trey Bradley flicked the stick there. Newgold doing a good job tracking Casey Piero's Abatel, trying to sneak away with that breakaway pass. Edward flipped it ahead. Newgold blew a tire. Centering feed is broken up by Matt Bradley, and he'll quickly send this one down. 50 seconds to go on the man advantage here. 16 minutes to go in the third. The Growlers ahead by a goal. At center ahead, James Henry in over the line. His shot wide. Casey Piero's Abatel couldn't reel it in, and Trey Bradley snaps this one the length of the ice. 35 seconds left here on the minor penalty to Trent Bork. Here comes Linhart. He's got one of the Adirondack goals. He'll carry it all the way in. Tried to get through the defense. Puck trickled off his stick. He'll gather it back in the right wing corner. Frees it up top. Across it comes to Edward. For Piero's Abatel in the high slot. He'll dish to the right wing side. 12 seconds to go in the penalty kill. Down low and into the corner again. Good puck movement here. James Henry behind the net. Back to the right wing corner and up top for Linhart. He'll take it back across. Linhart calling for the pass. Edward gets it instead, and a diving stop made by Redmond. Puck side door, batted away, and now Bork out of the box trying to settle. A shot over the net from Piero's Abatel. Off the end board, Skirving got just enough of his man. He'll free it up. Great job to clear the zone. One hand on the stick, too. 5:10 gone here in the third period. Now it's time for the Growlers to get a little insurance. Trying to hunt down the puck handler is Marcus Power, but Piero's Abatel launched up feet ahead. Over the line, that's going to be chipped to the line. That pass will be stolen by Robert Powers. He'll lift it into the air to center ice. It bounced, that hit Colt Conrad and rolls into the right wing corner right to Brazo. Brazo trying to find some room back there. He's hard to contain. Had the puck stolen away, but it looks like it'll be stolen back by Conrad. Right wing boards to the line. Newgold fakes it across now to Robert Powers. He'll put it in on goal, and it bounced off the goal stick of Eamon McAdam, and he pulled his own rebound out of midair.
Well, the Newfoundland Growlers have had a tough time trying to solve their former teammate Eamon McAdam, and the Adirondack goalie relieved Ev Cormier after that first period when the youngster was lit up for 4. He has not yielded a goal at all. Now, granted, the Growlers haven't really exactly beaten down the net since that first period when they had 18 shots in goal. Chris, they've only managed 9 since that. They had 7 in the second, a couple here in the third. Next one hopefully goes in.
Estefan, O'Brien, and Ferguson with Newgold and Panico. Face-off, win to Ferguson, and a one-timer off the face-off. It was stopped by McAdam. Puck rolls into the left wing corner. Panico activates off the line, but couldn't come away with it. Linhart starts it ahead with a pass. Smatula across. Sal Haney gets in over the line. Rolls behind the net. First man to the puck is Evan Newgold. He'll try and chip it loose, and he will. O'Brien played it ahead. New goal into the air. Glove down by Ferguson. He's in on a partial break. Ferguson! Oh, and a big crashing play in front sends the net flying off its pegs. And McAdam to his backside.
Well, Mike Sadeo had Brady Ferguson wrapped up pretty good there, and that was just plain hockey play right there as McAdam came out, made another dandy stop as Fergie got him behind the defense. That was a huge chance for Brady Ferguson. Mike Sadeo, the worse for wear there. His stick is smashed, and he's hobbling to the bench and throws it down the runway in disgust. What a golden opportunity. They've had 2 looks already in behind the D and haven't been able to solve. Eamon McAdam, who you know in his heart wants to beat this hockey club so badly he can taste it. And he has been the reason that this game remains at 4-3 because those are 2 chances that they're in. The goal lead is 3 for sure, and the Growlers would have 6 on the board. They're coming. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Estefan steps in on the faceoff. Same unit out there for the Growlers, but the faceoff's pulled away this time by Adirondack. Into the air. That's going to bounce wide of the cage. Pinnacle clearly the first man back, and another missed call by the officials here tonight. That's bad. Here comes O'Brien back the other way. Hands it off. Estefan tried to cut to the backhand. Jekyll knocked it off his stick, but Estefan gets it back. Spins away from Jekyll with a great move. Does it again, and now he's hauled to the ice. A penalty coming up. And Jekyll, never seen a tripping call before.
Well,
as the Growlers head to their 3rd power play of the game.
Well, they need a counter here. What a great performance tonight by number 29, Giorgio Estefan. He hasn't scored yet, and I say yet, but he is out there, and he looks like a guy on a mission. 6:47 gone here in the 3rd. It remains 4-3 Newfoundland. Now the strength of goals by Brady Ferguson, Marcus Power.
Sorry, I'm trying to listen to the trivia question that the PA announcer is, and I don't know if it's A, B, or C. Bill Hart and Steve Callahan here with you, and we're well into the 3rd period now, and some jump in both teams' step as we start this 3rd period.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of opportunities on special teams, guys moving their feet, driving the net, and making good things happen. We just saw that just then with Giorgio Estefan. You know, he keeps his feet moving, and Adirondack got to get that stick in the way, and now they draw the penalty. And that's what's so huge. You know, special teams, we talk about it all the time. We throw that term around, but really right now in the 3rd period, it's going to come down to that one shot, that one power play, or that one really good penalty kill that happens. And Adirondack had their opportunity now. Newfoundland find themselves in a really big power play situation.
All right, let's throw it back to Chris and Brian. They have the call on Rogers TV.
And Brady Ferguson remain on the ice. Piero Zabatel will line up against Giorgio Estefan. A Pepsi power play for 2 minutes or less. And the face-off's won back by Adirondack. Mike Sadeo, hello. That one hammered the link to the ice. Gendron, as the crowd tries to buoy the Growlers into an insurance goal, and Ferguson gets the pass back from Gendron. Ahead on the left wing side to Power. Up top, and a turnover there. Now a 3-on-3 rush cleared away by Connor Riley. First man back again is Gendron. Just like that, 30. Oh, a big trip. There goes Smith. As Connor Riley tripped up Miles Gendron, but the Growlers recover the puck, and now they got a man cut behind the play. They being the Adirondack Thunder. Left wing side, Estefan back into the slot. Power! His shot kicked away by McAdam. Puck loose. Power steals it back, plays it behind the net. Sadeo, he'll hammer this one the length of the ice again. Redmond out of his cage. Walker trying to force the play, but Redmond, a great puck handling goaltender, sent to pass, and now it's O'Brien. He'll weave it in. 3-on-2 opportunity, rolling puck. He'll follow up, rebound. Still loose, side door, and Brazo, even his big old reach couldn't tuck this one in. Side door, in front, O'Brien. He scores on the second try. Zach O'Brien, a power play goal. 5-3 Growlers.
Well, when I looked into the little old Houdini crystal ball earlier, I saw a pair for Zach and maybe more. There's 2, baby. And that will give the Growlers a 5-3 lead, and finally on the 3rd opportunity on the power play, they took one home, and it took Obi 2 or 3 cracks at it before he finally stuck it by Eamon McAdam. And that goal comes at 7:58 on the power play, and it's 5-3 Newfoundland. And
Holy hockey, Murgatroyd, that was sweet.
O'Brien, second of the game, 22nd of the season. The power play goal, so the Growlers 1 for 3 now on the man advantage tonight. Rolled in by Adirondack. Here's the goal call.
Scored by number 10, Zach O'Brien. Assist on the goal to number 14, Trey Bradley. And number 17, Justin Brazo. Time of the goal, 7:58. That's O'Brien for Bradley and Brazo at 7:58.
O'Brien from Bradley and Brazo at 7:58. They'll make it another 5 spot up on the board here for the Growlers. They'll clear it to center, knocked down beautifully by Van Der Esch. He's in a one-on-one. Cuts across and fires. What a shot that was, but a nice save by McAdams.
Get another one here, boys.
Sadeo under pressure from Brady Ferguson. Sends it to Nazarian. He's crunched by O'Brien, as all he can do is dump it in. 11:10 remains here in the third period. The Growlers back up by 2 as Estefan weaves his way through darn near everybody and hands off O'Brien. He's locked in front, that pass. O'Brien follows up, took a two-hander from Sissons, no call. Sissons takes the puck. Skates it away with some options. Hands it for Henry, he'll flip it to Walker, got caught flat-footed. Left wing corner, the Growlers steal it away, but turn it right back over. Big save in front by Redmond, and now the pass finds Ferguson. He'll weave all the way back in his own zone, again sending 2 Thunder into one another. Pass to the middle intended for Marcus Power is stolen. Sissons, nice spin around move to find some ice. That shot's blocked. Tommy Panico wore that one. He's feeling it, but he stays out there. Big hit in the left wing corner. Connor Riley had it stolen by Brazo. Riley steals it back on a poke check. Sends it for Marcus Power, who clears the zone. 33-22 were the shots for Newfoundland. That's only 2 shots in the period here for Adirondack. 8 for Newfoundland. And behind the net, the Growlers, Colt Conrad comes away with it, playing it ahead against the boards. What a pass for Power. He'll clear the zone. Giving chase off the end boards is Ginger, and he'll get to it first. He's guided against the end boards, working hard to keep it pinned, and Conrad comes in and takes it. Colt Conrad walks out of the right wing corner, spins back into it behind the net, shakes away from one man, he's tackled by another. Sal Haney gets it out of the scrum. Van Der Esch has him all tied up. Conrad frees it back up for Power. Power, what a pass up top for Bork. Bork in the slot, rips one, and that's blocked in front. Leaps into the corner, and Power and Thompson battle for it, and Power freed it up for Conrad. Leaves it back, Melindy scores! James Melindy, 6-3 Growlers with 9:15 to go.
That's massive for Mel. He doesn't score a whole lot, but that's a biggie right there. Was it redirected? It may have been tipped in front. But we'll wait and see. But Mel doesn't put up a whole lot of points. He just puts up a lot of moxie and grit, determination and toughness, and wears the C and wears it proudly. He's definitely getting in on the action. And that would be his 8th point of the season, one way or the other. It's either a second goal or it's a 7th helper, Chris. We'll wait for the official on that one. 6-3.
Dylan Van Der Esch led the charge back to the bench, so we'll have to wait and see. That's typically the indicator. Sent high off the glass to center by Adirondack as the Growlers. The lead swells back to 3. Nazarian tries to get it back.
Number 45, Dylan Van Der Esch.
Vandy gets credit.
Assist on the goal to number 43, James Melindy. And number 39, Colt Conrad. Time of the goal, 10:45. That's Van Der Esch for Melindy and Conrad at 10:45.
Back the other way, Trey Bradley tries a toe drag, ended up knocking himself down, I think. And Adirondack, the outlet feed, finds Nazarian. Nazarian tries to get by Newgold. Sharp angle try stopped by Redmond. In the corner is Matt Bradley, frees it up behind the net. Great patience there as Newgold forms away. Newgold, 8:20 remains. Here in the third period, it's a 6-3 Growler lead. Dylan Van Der Esch, the redirection on a James Melindy point shot. May have put this one out of reach for the Thunder. Here's Ferguson barreling back in. The rest of man along the end boards. He'll sneak away from his man and center it for Ferguson. He's tripped up as well. Another non-call here by the officials, who have not called a good game here tonight. Inboards, James Henry holds it in, plays it down low. Connor Riley can't handle that pass, and his second pass was stolen. Brady Ferguson into the air, bounces one right on the blue line. That unit heads off for a change. A 3-goal lead again here for Newfoundland, and a steal for Ferguson in the offensive zone. Tapped away by Thompson. Ferguson back at work, trying to take it from his man. That one's going to take a ride on the dasher boards instead, and is cleared away. Gendron back in his own end, hands it back for Bork, and up just off the end of the stick of Brazo. Bouncing puck sent back in by John Edward. Dylan Van Der Esch, his 8th from James Melindy, and Colt Conrad at 10:45 is the 6th Growler tally of the game. Right wing corner, Marcus Power throws a check against Curdy. We're in the final 7 minutes of action here. Another big third period push for the Growlers. We were chatting with Evan Pivnik, voice of the Thunder, last night after the game. He says the hardest thing about playing the Growlers is, they score in bunches. He said so quickly, you blink and 5 minutes is gone and there's 3 up on the board. Well, that happened both in the first period and now 2 quick ones in just under 3 minutes here in the third. Has restored the order here. At mile 1:6-3 is the score as the Thunder look to bring it ahead again. Heroes Abitel gets the feed back, weaves in over the line, nice pass, redirected. Oh my goodness, 2 big stops by Redmond, and the rebound flipped away to the line to Melindy, and that's blocked in front by Melindy. Melindy does it again at center, Van Der Esch. Melindy put it in the zone. I think it hit the helmet of Jake Linhart and bounced into the Adirondack zone. Sadeo left the puck behind. He'll settle it down for himself with just under 6 minutes to go. Cleared in, rolling puck. Panico and Walker do battle right in front of the Growler goal. Swooping in to advance it away was O'Brien. Ferguson, his pass, followed up by O'Brien to poke it to center ice. Sissons at his own blue line. Hands it back, and he'll inadvertently ice this one. The Thunder are going to be stuck out there, and that's an icing call with 5:25 to go.
Okay, well, I've got my Ecuador hardest working player already turned in, and I'm working on my Molson Coors Light 3 stars, and I've got 2 of them down there, and I don't like to predicate my star selections, Chris, on points alone. I like intangibles in a hockey game as well, and there's just a number of guys that have had big nights here point-wise, but there's also been some guys who have played very, very steady back there and maybe a little unheralded, so maybe it's one of those nights. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan to me. 5:17 to go. So Zach O'Brien, 7 shots on goal, +2 with 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist here tonight. Other notables here on the score sheet: Marcus Power has a goal and an assist, as does Justin Brazo. Weak shot in on McAdam, guided away. 2 assists for Colt Conrad, and for the 3rd straight game, he has taken an absolute beating here. The Growlers against the end boards, played down low behind the net. Brazo gives chase against Jacob. Those 2 tied up. What a pass by Brazo for Conrad. Colt Conrad weaves through, and he's hauled down. That's going to be a penalty to the Thunder. And the Growlers right back to the power play, brought to you by Browning Harvey when we return. The final 5 minutes are in front of us here. 6-3 Growlers with time running out.
The work people did. Did you win the 50-50?
I hope. But with the luck tonight, I doubt it.
Man, oh man. Well, here we go. It's to say the Newfoundland Growlers are starting to run away with it would be a bit of an understatement.
You know, they really did ramp it up a notch, though, and that's good. And they took advantage of that power play that we talked about. The pull ahead 5-3 with Zach O'Brien right in his little office. He knows how to take care of that business. So sometimes, you know, those efforts put you ahead. You close out the right way. Now being 6-3, I think they'll clamp down on this power play and, you know, really shut the door. They've played well. They've amped it up. They had the tough second period. they've really shown the experience, the class, the energy, and the depth of the team that they have tonight.
All right, let's see how they do. Let's throw it back to Chris and Brian as the Growlers are about to start a power play on Rogers TV.
About these third periods that seem to bring the best out of your Newfoundland Growlers, because they scored twice here in the pivotal period here to regain the lead. They did it again last night. So I'm curious to see what it is about these third periods or what it is about the Growlers in these third periods that makes them so successful. 2 minutes up on the Growlers win the draw, but that pass broken up and pushed to center ice. O'Brien ahead. What a touch pass there by Ferguson. Down the left wing goes Power. He's upended. Puck's loose underneath him. Still underneath Marcus Power, but Estefan comes in and steals it. Walks out of the corner. Finds Power open in front, and Estefan just got tackled in front of the net. He is very slow to his feet. And now the referee centering pass. Ferguson. That's blocked in front and cleared away is Estefan, just now making his way back to the bench. Redmond guides it away. 40 seconds gone on the Pepsi power play. Look at Gendron doing everything he can to shake away from Walker. Gendron along the left wing boards, lost control at the line, held in. Bouncing puck right back to the line. Ferguson sweeping at it, and now it's a shorthanded 2-on-1. Ferguson hustles back, knocks Payne off the puck, but following up is Henry. He'll spin it toward the cage. The pass stolen by Ferguson. 55 seconds to go on this Browning Harvey power play.
Bergie's helmet looks like it's sticking up in the air like one of those bad lids the kids wear in this day and age, right? That's just because he's in the dirty areas, Chris, taking some whacking and hacking and staying on the biscuit. Good job.
Colt Conrad picks it up from behind his own goal with 3:29 to go here in the third. Conrad gets the pass back and looks ahead. Hands to Matt Bradley, hopped over his stick. Conrad steals it back, tried to center. He took a big check there. Trey Bradley hauled down as well, and we got another penalty here. I think this one's against the Growler, though. And Colt Conrad appears to be escorted to the sin bin here. A slash from Conrad, and we'll play 5 aside for 25 seconds.
Rolling now, after being quiet as a mouse at Wednesday and Friday, he's all of a sudden rolling with an iron fist out there tonight. Win out of it 5. Little too late now.
And that's what I mean. I feel like the Growlers have had the same level of discipline they've had over the course of the last handful of games. And let's not remember, in the last 7 games, the Growlers allowed just 10 opposition power plays. And this one already will be the 5th for Adirondack in 25 seconds time. Is that just a undisciplined game by the Growlers, or
I don't think
the referee trying to carve out a story?
I think the guys have played fairly disciplined. I mean, a lot of the calls that have made, they just kind of looked up to the heavens or had a little something to say. But hey, nevertheless, they got this one in hand here on their way to their 42nd victory of the season, or 41st, pardon me.
What a pass, and in comes O'Brien behind the defense looking for the hat trick.
Yeah, go get it.
3 minutes to go, and he sends it up top to Powers. Powers, his low shot, pinballs around, and it's kicked loose into the corner. Pulled away by the Thunder. They got Connor Riley out of the penalty box, and they're going to try and find him. O'Brien blocked the pass, and Powers settled it down. 35 seconds gone on the power play now for Adirondack as the Growlers clear the zone. 2:35 to go here in the third period. Chris and Brian bringing you the action here. 6-3 your Growlers lead, trying to push the win streak to 4. Adirondack with 1:10 to go on the power play, guided into the left wing corner. Panico, he's pinned against the inboards by Salhaney. Almost everybody on the ice converging on the puck. Flipped up top. Sissons holds the line. Smatula steps in, fires. It's blocked by Nugo. Right wing boards, Charlie Curdy. He'll absorb a check. Puck knocked away, hammered toward the line. Smatula, nice job to hold it in for Adirondack. 2 minutes to go here in the third period. 40 seconds left on the penalty kill, brought to you by Johnson's Insurance. Sissons gets it back in the high slot. He's checked by Bradley, hands it off. Curdy again, in on goal wide. Panico locates and sends this on the length of the ice. 38 shots now in this game for Newfoundland. That's 13 in the third period alone, just 5 for Adirondack. What a third period for the Growlers.
Yep, it's been dynamite.
James Henry with 90 seconds to go. Leaves it for Nazarian. He'll carry in. Henry. Drop pass back to Nazarian. He'll move to the high swat before finding Piero Zabitzel. Linhart, his shot wide of the cage off the inboards. Centering feed, that's going to be blocked as well. Into the shin pads of Gendron and carried away by O'Brien. O'Brien with a burst of speed. In, and he wants the hat trick, but Linhart, it's off the end of his stick. And out of play with 1:07 left in the third.
And lurking in there was Colt Conrad. Boy, would he love to score after he scored what appeared to be a very legitimate goal and one of the worst decisions I've seen down here all season long when it comes to reviewing and stuff. That was just out of sight of the mind. Made no sense whatsoever. And anyways, Obi, I don't blame him. Might be gunning for the Hattie as well. Why not? He's not a selfish player, and he's stretching the imagination, but tell me it doesn't feel good to score.
Oh, yeah. Conrad on the draw. Puck still tied up underneath him, pulled away by Sadeo. And the Thunder with 1 minute to go here in the third period. They're going to give it right to Colt Conrad. He'll spill it back for Melindy. Cross to Robert Powers and back to Melindy as the Growlers are easing the foot off the gas here in the final 45 seconds. McAdam guides it down for Jaco. He'll look to advance it. Brazo helps force the turnover, and Conrad sends a pass to Melindy inside the Newfoundland zone. Conrad back. 30 seconds left in the third. 38-25 are the shots for the Growlers in front of an announced crowd tonight of 6,000, the biggest crowd of the season. Well done, St. John's. And all of Newfoundland. I'd like to think that some people traveled in, and to all of you tuning in at home here tonight, we thank you for joining us. 10 seconds to go. The Growlers clear the zone. And I think it's safe to say we can make it 4 straight wins here for the Growlers. This one by a score of 6-3.
Angus Redmond improves to 15-2. Gotta go, B.
That was big third period out first, Chris. Just what the doctor ordered.
So the Growlers pick up win number 41 of the season, 2 wins shy from matching last season's win total with 13 games remaining here.
James Melindy with a couple choice words for Brett Rowland as he exits the playing surface. I thought the kid was pretty good Wednesday and not bad last night. Everybody's going to have an off night. Players have them, coaches have them, broadcasters have them, fans have them, referees and linesmen have them. Nobody's perfect in this world, although some people think they are. But nevertheless, that's it. Wait for the Equinor hardest working player of the game, and the Molson Coors 3-star. And I can let you in on a little secret, as if you didn't know, I was a big-time homer tonight.
Who, you?
Yeah.
So don't forget the next home game, Tuesday, the 17th of March.
Here comes the Puffin now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that it? No, he's going to keep going. Look at him. Showing off his there.
Got some energy left in the tank.
Yes, sirree, buddy. Chris, the Growlers are now plus 62 when it comes to goals for and against.
Hardest working player award goes to number 29, Giorgio Estefan.
Giorgio Estefan.
He had a great game tonight. You know what? He may not have had a whole lot of points put up on the board, but he kept the streak going. But he had a great game.
Here tonight scores like 3 stars. The third star from the Growlers, number 39, Colt Conrad.
Another couple of assists and a whole lot of abuse received.
Yes, buddy.
Well deserving of his third star honor.
That's a gritty little stallion down there.
Once again from the Growlers, number 17, Justin Brazo.
A goal and an assist for the big fella tonight. Justin Brazo is your second star.
2/3 of the Duke of Duckworth line.
And tonight's first star with a pair of goals, number 10, Zach O'Brien.
What a game for O'Brien as he carried the load here. 2 goals and an assist, 1,000,000 shots on goal.
How many
felt like it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it was the actual final tally on O'Brien.
He must have been close to double
he had
digits.
7 shots.
Well, there you go. We got another win for the Newfoundland Growlers. Adirondack in town for 3 of them. Swept. So the Growlers are well on their way, already clinching a playoff spot, but sending a message to a possible first-round opponent tonight.
Yeah, and really good closure. again, we talked about it, the depth of the organization, the depth of the team, the offensive ability, but the shutdown capability of Newfoundland to be able to do that tonight. Under 3 goals, great defense, solid goaltending when you need it. It's not how many saves, it's when they made the saves tonight. Just a really good home win, 3-game home stretch here that was perfect. Yeah, and again, the 6-3 win, great.
Now, of course, before we do anything else, we got to say hi to your mom.
Yeah.
And your dad.
Well, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Take the minute. Happy 51st wedding anniversary tonight. They came down here to mile 1, braved the snow. I was the escort tonight, and I'm going to be the driver to make sure that they go home, and they're a little good, but happy 51st wedding anniversary to mom and dad tonight.
Congratulations. Next home game here for the Newfoundland Growlers is going to be on the 17th when Reading is in town. And the next time we are going to be doing the broadcast will be the Saturday after that. Usually we'd have a little banner on the screen to let us know what that game is. We don't have that, so we'll just assume. We'll just assume that it'd be March 21st. And, oh, here we go. There we go. The Brampton Beasts are in town. There you go. Have a great night. Safe travels, and we'll see you then on Rogers TV.